Hello, everybody, and welcome to what might be the last episode of Roll20 Presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Who knows? I never know anymore. It doesn't matter. Welcome to an episode. I would like to personally welcome each and every one of you and your tasty, tasty intellects, and thank you for joining us. I'm excited about what's going to happen this episode. I mean, I'm sure Jewel is going to be fine. Everybody else, though,
Is she though?
You know, the question becomes whether or not you will choose to save Floon. That'll become that's what I don't really care about any of you, but my boy Floon is stuck in a room somewhere, so.
All right, well then, try not to kill me, I guess.
I think the world would be better off if Floon just stayed locked up by cultists.
No.
He gets, you know what? His fate, if you all lose and the Castellanters win, his fate will become to be adopted by the Castellanters, and he'll be Floon Castellanter, and he'll be their new best friend. Yep. But you can save him from
sacrifice him to a demon, like.
I mean, you know, this is a lot of unfounded religious persecution. All right, we don't know what the Castellanters' religious proclivities are. Maybe you need to do a little bit more investigating first. Asmodeus is a cool dude. Okay, he's just misunderstood. That's not true. He's evil. It says on the character sheet he's an evil man. So,
I mean, but I'm evil, and you guys like me.
Really? Really? I would never. I could never have guessed that. This is the big reveal. We were supposed to. You were supposed to do your heel turn, and we were saving it for the big climax, and now Blue Jays ruined it. Yes, that's right, everyone. Makaria is an evil character. I know.
Really?
I know.
Yeah,
she played it so well.
Jeez.
Yeah. Obfuscated from all of us for so long. Huge twist. M. Night Shyamalan that shit, and that's how it goes. Yeah. Big spoils. Yeah. But
I mean, the real spoil is that 8 is supposedly evil.
You know, 8 is alignment fluid, I think. I think 8 is trying to figure out what their alignment is, which is fine.
I tried to call the cops. I'm lawful neutral.
You did, yes. Yeah, that's how you can tell. Yeah, someone's first thought is we should call the city guard. It's not. No. So, so the characters today are caught in a bit of a bind, and I think, you know, rather than do a big long intro, I want to jump into it because we could hang out, we could talk about Saltmarsh.
Can I just mention that I have not gotten any better at raven noises since.
Have you been practicing?
I actually did try
Sick.
and do some like real mimic practice. It didn't work out. I'm not very good.
All right, well, we'll see. I will give you the option, obviously, to choose if you want to do raven noise or not. But yeah, rather than like do our usual like 20-minute intro, I wanted to jump right in because I think we're going to need the 4 hours. We may well be able to
let's
conclude
do
this business.
Yeah, hit it.
So if you missed the last episode, well, there was a lot going on. Currently, the party is split between two fights, which we are narratively jumping back and forth between, and we don't actually know that they're happening at the same time. That doesn't matter now. We're caught in a narrative time zone, but currently, 8, Makaria, and Rin in Raven form, alongside Renier Neverember, have just been caught in a battle against the betrayer Mayloon Wardragon. Who, upon being slewn, his head doth cracketh forth such like unto an egg, and a brain leapt forth to attack you with psychic powers. Meanwhile,
Brain with feet.
either better or worse, in the basement of the Castellanter estate, Jewel on the far coast and her secret Batman girlfriend are trying to fight their way free. Killing cultists, stealing scimitars, and now maybe getting murdered by a bearded devil. We got a lot going on today's episode. So the first thing I need to do, 8, upon cleaving Mayloon's skull in twain, I need to roll initiative for this little brainy friend. So let me do that. Let me begin.
If their initiative is 0, can they just die?
No. Let me begin there. All right, their initiative is. Their initiative is a 7.
Okay, that's higher than everyone.
All right. So 8. That was your turn, right? You had finished your turn with the slash. You'd killed Mayloon.
I knocked the Intellect Devourer prone. So finish.
Yeah, you can still move and you can finish your turn. Yep.
Okay. The brain jumps out.
Yes, a brain leaps forth.
This is probably very confusing to everyone who has a brain.
Yes.
But for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
Just another target.
Right.
So
Well,
they-
so here's the
right.
thing. Like, I imagine you've seen plenty of brains in your day, right? Outside of the body of people you've killed.
That's true.
You've seen a brain once or twice,
Uh-huh.
but never an ambulatory brain. Never in this way. Normally, the brain stays still and does not move. It dies along with them. However, in this case, the brain has its own legs and arms and jumps forth to attack you. So you wanna move and then try
like a
to
mimic.
knock it prone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's bonk it.
All right.
Bonk the brain.
Do it.
Please become bonked, Frank Brain.
Wow, that's a good bonk. So it gets to make a athletics, or is it athletics or acrobatics or just athletics?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's both.
Okay, here we go. You got 21. I got a 13. So I'm imagining this scene playing out much like classic horror movie The Thing, in which a person's body part grows its own arms and legs and is running around and people are panicking and it boots the thing and it flips over. So let me put the little prone mark on it. There we go.
Now kill it. Make it die, please.
I too have had prone brain once or twice. It's not fun. Makaria, it is your turn. A brain lives.
This is very interesting to me.
Uh-huh.
I would love to trap it in a container of some sort and study it.
Uh-huh.
No, kill it.
I mean, is it really alive?
It's laying on its back, its squishy brain back, just like
Can I-
flailing its little legs in the air.
I've never seen something like this. Can I examine it?
Please use your action to attack.
I don't, but I don't know what it is.
It does seem hostile. You can.
Oh, it does seem hostile.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it burst forth claws bare. Like
It was ready
feel.
to
You can feel like hostile emanations like pouring off of this thing. Yeah. It's
Okay,
pissed.
all right,
It's pissed
all
that you
right.
killed its host.
So I'll kill it and then examine it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Death first, then examination.
Yeah, I
Um,
love that one.
Well, I think that second verse, same as the first. We've been doing a pretty good job with the inflict wounds going on. I'm not quite sure if I want to touch it,
Do it.
but
Do it.
I feel like there's some kind of like death rage going on. So I'm just gonna like dig my fingers in between, if I hit it, obviously.
Yeah, just grab the brain.
Like dig my fingers in between the like spaghetti
Mm-hmm,
and just like,
Yeah.
if I hit it, obviously.
Suddenly the intellect devourer smells burnt
Oh.
toast.
It's not advantage, sorry.
Yeah,
Bad.
it is because it's prone.
It's prone, so it is.
Oh.
You have to move too. You can't. Your arms are not 10 feet long.
I move forward.
Okay.
And then I do this. 25.
Yeah. You reach out and you slap the brain.
I
Come here,
12
you jiggly fuck.
12 necrotic damage.
Okay, you necrotize part of the brain. You
Yes.
see black threads like spread out under where your hand caressed its cortex. And the thing, like it has no sensor and it can't like make noises, but you see its arms and like twitching and spasming. Is that it for you?
I think she's going a little mad. She's just got her fingers in it and it's just like,
Uh-huh.
All right.
She's
a
in
little
kill
evil
everything
scientist.
like,
Yeah.
mode.
All right, Emperor Palpatine. So,
Yeah.
meanwhile, or perhaps not meanwhile, elsewhere, however, Jewel, you are standing at the top of a spiral staircase covered in bodies. There are murdered cultists just all over the fucking place, just laying scattered upon the floor, all willy-nilly. There is a set of stairs behind you that leads to a vault full of silver bars. To your left, you see your friend, the Black Viper, and there is a door, and on the other side, there's your acquaintance, Floon Blagmar. You are currently holding a golden grail-shaped mace, I believe, in one hand, and a scimitar in the other, and you've heard some ominous shouting from below. What would you like to do?
I got my fancy lantern. I believe the agreement was made that we were going to use Floon as a meat shield.
I don't remember that being agreed upon.
So we were going to rescue him.
Okay, that
so
part
that
I
he could do some
remember.
Damage
Yeah.
for us.
Okay, all right.
And I know that the Viper went over there and attempted to open the door on her own. So
Oh,
the
right,
plan
and she was like, "Come help me. We'll break the door down."
Yeah, the plan was Jewel. She's going to move over
Okay.
and put some shoulder into it.
So you have 2 choices. You can use your action to give advantage to the Black Viper, or you can make an attempt on your own to like shoulder.
Would I have
the blow.
advantage if I?
No, because she would have to do the same for you.
Yeah,
right?
then I'll give
one
her
of you has to
advantage.
forego. Okay, all right.
All right. He's not really useful for anything other than being a distraction and soaking some damage for us. She whispers quietly to the Black Viper, but I think we might need that.
Yeah, Floon thankfully does not hear you. His self-esteem remains intact. All right, so back over here, Rainier Neverember has just seen a good friend of his turn betrayer and then have his skull crack open, and
it's just a bad time.
a horrific brain monster pours forth. So Rainier is going to shriek in terror and fall backwards towards the door.
God damn it, Rainier!
So he takes the
God damn it!
disengage action and he flees. He's not actually scared, but he's just like he can't handle this. He's covered in the cranial blood of his friend, and this is not a good situation for him. He's just an NPC. He falls back. Yeah, he fails his steel test and falls back.
If he stabbed it might die.
Yeah, but he's not ready for that.
Look, it's better for the show if it tries at least once to do the thing.
The only
Right?
present. I mean, Rin could try to peck it to death. The only present
With my 1 damage?
The only present cultist is currently hiding downstairs so that he doesn't do anything. So now back in the basement, let's make that roll. So to break down the door and free the Floon, I think it's going to be a DC 15 athletics check with advantage. So here we go. The Black Viper gets a 12. So the 2 of you, 1, 2, and slam against the door. There is no hope, unfortunately. Inside, you hear Floon say, and downstairs, you can hear hoofs on the stone. You hear footsteps. The soundtrack has become scarier because the bearded devil approacheth. So let's see, what's the movement rate on this pointy boy? A movement rate of 30. Okay. Here comes the bearded devil. 10, 20, 60. Okay. Yeah, you hear at the bottom of the stairs. You hear the clicking of hooves. We cut downstairs as the bearded devil comes around the corner, and this cultist cowering down here like peers around the corner in a state of religious terror. Meanwhile, Rin, you are a bird. What would you like to do?
I am a bird. There's very little I can do. I'm out of spells, but cantrips are forever. So I am going to from back here.
They say it's diamonds, but it's not. It's cantrips.
I'm gonna from back here squawk angrily, caw angrily at the brain and vicious mockery it. As according to our rules, I can still cast verbal component spells.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm just grabbing my spell here. Hey.
All right, a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
How wise is a brain?
Depends on whose brain, I guess.
Question.
Independent of nothing, this particular brain is not. So this brain takes 4 damage.
4 psychic damage.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
And a disadvantage on its next.
On its
Sweet
attack? Okay.
disadvantage.
All right. The Intellect Devourer uses half of its movement rate to right itself. So it rolls over, claws clicking on the stone. Actually, I guess it's on top of the body, the blood-soaked body, which is now, there's a pool of blood spilling. It flips over, and I was going to say it looks, but it has no eyes, and rights itself, and it gets to do two things. So the first thing it gets to do is make a claw attack. So it's going to attack Macaria at disadvantage. So it lashes out with a claw. It gets a 12, which I believe is a hit.
That is a hit. Yes.
Okay, so
Oh damn it! 12 is a hit.
Yeah.
I don't have very
Not
good.
even a hit on me.
Macaria isn't wearing her armor, I don't think, right now.
No, I am wearing my armor. I have a -1 to dexterity.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So you take 9 slashing damage. So it slashes your leg.
Okay.
Okay.
And then it will target 8 with its intellect devouring ability. So
That seems
8.
bad.
No.
It's like Macaria, let go of me. I want the giant
No.
robot. Smart.
All right, hey everyone, guess what? We practiced this in the pre-show.
This is the scripted portion of the adventure. Yeah.
But Adam, I don't have a brain because I'm a robot. Because
Well,
we knew
we
this
all-
was going to come up.
We all knew you didn't have a brain. Ba-dum-tsh. So the intellect devourer targets one creature it can see within 10 feet of it that has a brain. And we actually did have this discussion in between. And I know that there is some like, oh, well, Warforged, you don't have a brain. But like, brain can be whatever mechanical thing makes you go. So it is going to target you. You need to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Inspiration.
I gave mine to someone else.
Yes. That's right.
I have mine. You can have it. There you
Thank
go.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Intelligence saving throw.
All right. Please no bad.
Oh boy.
Shit.
All right. So you fail. So you're going to take 2d10 psychic damage. All right. Pain and terror wash over you. I only got an 8, so you take 8 psychic damage.
Ow.
Pain and terror wash over you. You also, I'm gonna roll 3d6. What is your what's your
No.
intelligence score?
No, I'm not telling you.
I could just look.
I'm not telling you.
What is
No,
it?
You have to look. It's
Ah.
11. It's 11.
Players. It's 11? Okay, all right.
Don't you dare.
I'm glad that this happened to you because my intelligence is 8.
Okay. All right. So
Oh, I'm dead.
you're not dead. You're okay for now. So on a failure, roll 3d6. If the total equals or exceeds the target's intelligence score, that score is reduced to 0. The target is stunned until it regains at least 1 point of intelligence. Now, what's interesting, Dave, I checked this. So you are stunned, and that'll last until 8 gets a point of intelligence back. But the body thief ability, the ability that lets you like jump in, it has to be, let's see, initiates intelligence contest with an incapacitated humanoid. Now, if you're stunned, is stunned one of those ones where you're stunned, and if you're stunned, you're incapacitated or not?
Oh.
Because incapacitated is a different thing.
Let's look it up. Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
Okay, so if you are stunned, you are also incapacitated. Okay, so it's a separate action. It can't do that this turn.
Oh my fuck.
Kill it. Kill it.
So
please.
now is the time. So what does that look like when 8 gets intellect devoured?
The lights go off. Get it. So,
Well, the thing is, you're still powered on. You're just in safe mode. You can't do anything, and your like processing power is all locked up. Yeah.
yeah, it does.
So it's like
the
when
light
your computer
flashes.
is like you can hear the fans and everything because it's running the game versus when it's in standby mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're that thing where you put the RAM in upside down, the system's beeping. So yeah, you're just frozen in place, and your mind shuts down. The intellect devourer then begins to prepare for the inevitable devouring of 8's intellect. 8, you are stunned. So Macaria, it is your turn.
I am going to like it's moving towards 8, and I'm like, no, you're my thing to study. You don't get to do that.
Yeah, it's doing that. It's doing that thing where like cats do, where it's like it's crouching down, getting ready to pounce.
I'm gonna use my inspiration and my last spell to cast inflict wounds on it again,
Okay.
Oh, come on.
and hope
You hit.
24
Yeah.
for 11.
Maybe.
Let's see here. 11 damage.
Yeah.
Well, it only had 5 hit points, so you kill it.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God.
So like it goes for 8, and because it didn't move, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So I think Macaria, like she like it's like when someone the K-drama thing of like someone tries to walk away and you grab their arm.
Right.
Except for like it's me with my fingers in its brain matter, and like there's
This
this
is your
one
brain. This is your brain on drugs.
there's one last spurt of necrotic energy, and it goes from looking like slightly pink with like gray and black parts to just like completely gray and black. And then
Ugh.
Macaria like continues to look at it and is like, she's like, it's not moving. She's like holding it and like starting to like poke at it. And you can tell that all she wants is to like bring it down into her corpse basement and like,
Let's see if it's different from a regular brain.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't even want to know what like a necrotized
mean,
brain looks like.
If it hadn't been so inflict wounds to it, I might have like pecked at it, but not now.
Some part of you, Rin, was like, "Oh, that would have been a great snack."
Yeah,
Just
like
delicious fatty brain.
Wasted.
Makaria, would you like to do anything else? Are you gonna move or?
No.
Okay, all right. Okay, Jewel, you are. It is your turn, and you and your friend are by the door, and something is downstairs.
I think Joel just says that something is downstairs. I won't have advantage again on opening the door.
Yeah, again, same thing. You could use your action,
Yeah.
and try it, or you could like hold your action and do something else, whatever you feel like doing.
Let's give it one more college try, and then I mean I'm either gonna go after the thing or it's gonna come after me. So
Okay, yeah. So do you wanna take a swing at it, or do you want to give advantage to the?
I'll give advantage to her.
Okay, all right.
I think her strength is either the same or better than mine.
Okay, well we'll just jump to the Black Viper because Rainier is curled up in a scared ball, and is sobbing. So Black Viper, let's see if she can knock this thing down. Here we go. Athletics with advantage, DC 15. Wow, she got 2 20s. So yes, I think that she does. So on the second try, the two of you get in order, and you break the door down, and inside you see a somewhat worse for wear Floon Blagmar looking gratefully up at you from the back of the cell. And he does that thing where he like blinks at the light and he sees you. And he's like, oh, thank goodness. Let's get out of here.
We have to get through something first. Grab a sword.
Something? What do you mean something?
Grab a sword.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good with swords.
Well, how are you with your fists? She's gonna
He looks up at his like
to the side
soft,
and-
pale, manicured hands, his perfumed moneymakers, and he's like, I'll take the sword. And I think that the Black Viper chucks him a sword.
It's like meat shield.
So let me give old Floon let me give him a scimitar here.
Floon secretly like a level 20 paladin.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. He just pulls the sword out of the.
I'll smite you.
So let's see. His to hit is +2. What does a scimitar do for damage? D8?
1d6.
D6. Okay. As you
It
can
is
imagine.
finesse.
As you can imagine, he has no. Yeah, he doesn't. We don't need to worry about. Let me take it for a swing here. Okay, there you go. Floon Blagmar. All right, so Floon takes the scimitar. And that's the end of the Black Viper's turn. Actually, she can still move. So she looks at you, and she says, "So what? Back down the stairs?"
That's the way out. But I think it's at the bottom, so
Well,
why don't we wait for it to come up and kill it?
You've got the light source, so I'm gonna just let you go on ahead.
Jewel like raises her thumbs while holding her 2 weapons.
Okay. All right. Hold on, I have to edit something. Floon is actually worse with his scimitar than I thought. There. Perfect. If only he had a club. Okay, so she'll go, because she can still see. She'll go like over here and wait for you to lead the way down the stairs. Floon, also unable to see in the dark. We'll head over that way. So
Perfect. They are so much closer to getting stabbed than Jewel is.
All right. So I think the bearded devil is not scared of you. He is going to just come on up the stairs. So you hear the sound, ominous sound of hooves on the steps. Click, click, click. And then you see this purple-skinned, green-bearded, glaive-wielding, obviously demonic creature emerge from the top of the stairs, glaring around, looking for a target, which it sees as it reaches the top of the steps. It's going to take a swing at the Black Viper. So I love this. The devil makes 2 attacks, one with its beard and one with its glaive. So it will attack her first with the glaive. The glaive strikes out and she dodges out of the way. So It slices through the air, and it's trailing like some kind of foul magic. It crackles in the air with greenish light. And upon missing the tendrils of its beard, I wish I could attack people with my beard. The tendrils of its beard.
You can't do that?
I know. I can't make people make Constitution saving throws or be poisoned by my beard. But it misses, so she is able to dodge the beard. Okay. So meanwhile, Rin, back in the vault. What would you like to do?
I have flapped up onto 8's deactivated shoulder.
Yep.
And am like pecking at the side of his head, like, come on, wake up, come on. And then when nothing happens, I look over at Makaria and then Rainier, and I just managed to croak out the word dragon. It's not quite Rin's voice.
Yeah.
But it's like an almost Makaria sounding voice.
Good.
Right.
In fact.
Yeah, you're mimicking her. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being like, the intuition here being like maybe the dragon can do something.
Yeah.
Roll.
Okay. 8 is stunned. Makaria?
I
Also, Rin, if you'd like to like make an Arcana check, or like, because you can still make a check.
Actually,
during your
yeah,
turn.
that would be actually
Okay.
pretty. Let's do that.
You have no idea what is wrong with your but so it occurs to you that if something is wrong with 8 and the dragon can't help, probably the Temple of Gond, or
we have
one of your
Gond
other...
and wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my plan.
Okay, Makaria, what would you like to do?
I hear, like, I'm entranced with my cool new brain, but I hear Rin croak, and I turn up to look at her and look at 8, and I'm like, oh, we don't need a dragon, and I slap him in the face.
You hurt your hand.
Ow.
Bong.
I give you the most head tilted look that's like, yeah, fuck, we do.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with him. I had to carry him up those stairs once before. I don't intend to do it again.
Yeah, they are very heavy. They're very, very heavy. So I guess you could push them down the stairs.
That's true.
Just tilt them and then shove, and they just like,
Or I could just fly down and be like, yo.
And I guess the best, Rainier's no good. Jewel's not here. Ren's a bird.
All true, yes.
I
think this means you're in charge, Makaria.
I think so too.
In charge is not correct, but the one who can do stuff is correct.
In charge sounds right to me. Well, what were we doing before I died?
Right, because you were killed relatively recently and then came back.
Again, in a Makaria style intonation, gold.
Right. Jewel was captured. I forgot. We don't have a wheelbarrow. We could just... The dragon... Did they say that we could have the loot? I didn't go down there, obviously.
I'm nodding.
Yes.
Or bobbing, I suppose, is probably more accurate.
Bird nod.
So I suppose the next thing is to get it out of the... It would be very helpful with that, but what is wrong with them? I guess like the first, like, I don't know. I don't have any spells. I don't, lesser restoration wouldn't help anyway, and I don't have greater.
I mean, you could make an Arcana check to try to figure out what would help.
Sure, yeah, I'll puzzle over it. It's definitely Arcana, not like medicine.
No, it's not medicine.
Okay, well, I'll make an Arcana check. I don't know any more than Rin, probably, or maybe a tiny bit more than Rin.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's clear something magical has happened to deactivate 8, and it didn't go away with this thing's demise.
Well, I guess the closest person who might have any idea what to do with this is indeed the dragon. Rainer, can you stop Cowering, please.
He's not really cowering anymore. He's more lamenting. Like he's like slumped on the ground. He's dropped his weapons and he's just like sobbing into his hands. Like his friend is dead in a really horrible way.
Yeah, it's true. So pathetic. I don't. Rin, you're the one that knows how to talk to people. Why are you still a bird? How long is this going to last? I don't.
All right, so you spend the
With
rest.
the exact same whining tone that she is talking with right now. Don't know.
Okay, yeah. So
Makaria
move
spends the
on.
rest of her turn lamenting and complaining. Okay, all right, Jewel. There is a demon. It is a fiend, and it has emerged and is slashing at people with a glaive. What are you gonna do?
I got a mace and it's got a face.
That's true. That's true.
And she
And-
knows the mace is good for
Mhm.
demons.
You're attuned to it. So probably somewhere in the back of
Yeah.
your mind, you hear the like divine choir of Siamorph like singing angelically to you that you must smite this evil. It's not like an intelligent weapon or anything, but you feel that it is
Yeah.
time to wield this mace.
She moves up,
Mm-hmm.
stands on one of the dead bodies,
Kick
and
the corpse.
smacks at it.
All right, do it.
Come on, hit it. Come on. Oh, damn it.
Oh, you
I'm
miss.
allowed-
So close to the 19. It was
I
like,
know, I saw that. She
You
whiffs
miss. To the sounds of Ave Maria, you just whoosh.
I think
swing
it
past.
probably has like a little angelic sound. You're like, oh.
You like all slow mo, like leap towards it and just swing at the empty air and kind of stagger forward.
And then feels shame as
Yeah.
her extra action.
Do you have anything you want to do with your
I don't think so. She
no,
neither can
you're
dash,
bonus action.
disengage, nor hide. So,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
that's it.
All right. The Black Viper. She's going to attack. Now she only has a scimitar, so she gets to make 3 scimitar attacks. Here we go. All right. So she hits. She misses. She hits again and does her sneak attack this time. All right. So she goes in on this dude and she does, let's see. I'm pretty sure he's got some kind of resistance. Yeah. Okay. So this is all halved. And then another. Okay. So she's just like a whirlwind of strikes, using your fumbling miss as an opportunity to stab in and hit the thing. So the fact that you are just nearby, though Floon is fulfilling the same requirements, is helping her get that sneak attack damage. So yeah, the creature is receiving shallow wounds, and its blood, black and hissing, spatters the floor and walls.
Jill's like, I hate this mace.
Now it is time for Floon Blagmar, jaunty man of Waterdeep, to show his quality.
Floon Blackmar, master swordsman.
Huzzah! Floon takes a swing with a scimitar and gets a 4. He misses. It doesn't do anything. Ah! And he I think he hits it. I think he just strikes it square in the back, like thwap. Oh dear. And nothing. It just.
He hits it with the flat side of the scimitar is the
Yeah,
issue.
yeah, right. He's holding the scimitar backwards and hitting it like it's like a hook. Yeah. Ugh. Turn it over, Floon. And he's like, oh, right, the sharp end. And flips it over. All right. The bearded devil. The bearded devil is going to attack. It will attack with its glaive. So it's going to attack the Black Viper. And gets a 13, which I think, if she's not wearing her armor, which she is not, might be a hit. No, it is not. That's a miss. Okay. And then, Jewel, you get a beard attack. Here it comes. Beard attack. It gets a 12. Does it hit you?
It misses. I'm 14.
You don't have your armor on.
Did they take my armor
Of
off?
course they did.
Oh, then I have no idea. My armor got damaged. It's leather armor.
Yeah.
I have a 3
You
in
can
dex.
uncheck it in your inventory.
Yeah, I assume everybody has their armor off in this case because they've.
Yeah, just go into the little eye and unclick equipped.
Actually, you know what? Hang on. Let me roll because there is a chance they would have left your armor on you.
That's totally fine either way. I think I just hadn't counted counted it before.
Okay, yeah, you have your armor. Just leave it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
In which case it's a 14. I mean, my
Yeah,
dexterity is
misses.
a 4, so
Okay.
I think it's a 14 anyway. I
Plus-
think my armor got damaged to nothing.
So there's no right. So there's no
Stupid ooze.
there's no time impetus in the other room. So do y'all mind if we just continue doing the battle with this
No, do
thing?
your thing. Do your thing. Keep
Okay.
going.
All right. So let me cut the order down here to just everybody who's in this fight. Okay. All right, Jewel. It is your turn.
Have a mace.
Get that mace. Do
Rinse
it.
and repeat.
Hey!
Gonna hit it with a 19.
Nice. You do.
I do hit it.
The Mace of Disruption deals. Let's see.
12 points
Now
of
it's a magic weapon, so you're dealing the whole damage. So 10.
Oh, not the
bludgeoning.
sneak attack. I just deal the 5. No,
No, you get sneak attack because there's a person adjacent to it.
it's not finesse weapon though.
It's not a
Oh,
finesse
that's right. Okay, so it gets 3 of that health back and then loses 5. Yeah, and when you hit it, you like tear through it with more force than the mace has any right to be using, and it disrupts the creature's very existence. Its foul nature begins decorporealizing, and it shrieks in anger and turns its full attention on you.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to do
I
anything
want to
else?
point out, even if they left her leather on her, they probably left her armor on because it was patchy and dissolved by an acid.
Yes, that's true. You got
Ooze.
oozed first. Yeah, so you made your attack. Do you want to, is there anything you can do with your bonus action?
Nope. I
Okay.
mean, there's nothing I can do.
All
other than
right.
shout at them. Try and hit it too.
The Black Viper does indeed do that thing. Scimitar attack number 1 is a miss. Scimitar attack number 2 is also a miss. Third attack, there we go. That's a hit. And gets to do her sneak attack. All right. Okay, so she's like chopping into it, and it's not dying. And she, and she's shouting like, "I don't know what's wrong. I can't. It's not killing it." And Floon says, "Belady, let me have a go." And he swings. Now that he's got the scimitar pointed in the right direction, takes a swing and gets a 3. Ha ha! Nothing. Perfect.
He's a distraction. That's all I needed.
Perfect.
The mace also has like a special ability, right? It's a
Yes, that's true. That's
Cool.
true. We'll use it on. I forgot. We'll use it on the next swing.
I don't think I have.
Yeah,
the
we'll
straight
we'll
stats for
review it. It should be on in the like notes in your character sheet.
But player handouts.
You can find it in the. You just look up Mace of Disruption in the thing. Basically, if it has 25 or less hit points after, it has to make a saving throw. Okay, the bearded devil is going to make all of its attacks on Jewel.
Yep, that's not a surprise.
So here we go. A glaive. It gets a 22.
That hits.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
I mean, I can. I don't wanna, but
Please
I
do.
can.
You take 5 slashing damage.
Okay.
Okay, you do not take the infernal wound does not settle in deep enough to make you lose
Okay.
your hit points. So
Like maybe I should be wearing that armor.
it slashes at you with the glaive and then lunges forward, trying to grab you with its barbed beard. Which actually, this is a fun little bit of D&D trivia. So beard in French is barb, and the lines got crossed when they made this monster, and so it was supposed to be like a barbed demon, and then it had a beard, and that's why this monster is like this. So the Neckbeard devil attacks you with its beard. It gets a 17. You take 3 piercing damage.
Ow.
And now I need you.
Devil was a separate creature, though.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Is like all the lines got crossed, and yeah. So make a Constitution saving throw, please.
I don't like this.
Okay.
10.
You are poisoned.
Oh,
You are
fuck.
poisoned. So the beard is dripping with black oils, and as it wraps itself around your arm and your neck, the barbs sticking to your flesh. And
Nope.
yeah, and you are now poisoned by its nastiness. Okay, so while you were poisoned, you can't regain hit points. You'll get to make another saving throw at the end of your turn, which is now. It is your turn.
Cool.
You can use my. Oh wait, I used my inspiration.
Once more into the murder face with my mace. She's gonna smack at it with 19 again.
Okay, nice.
And it should be 9 damage.
Okay, all right. So takes
Not
9.
good damage rolls.
So now it does have to make that saving throw.
Please.
So you always
Please.
do the radiant damage, but if it has 25 or fewer hit points, it makes a wisdom save or be destroyed. If it succeeds, it will take. It'll still be frightened of you. Here we go. Nope, it is destroyed. You annihilate the demon. Sorry, devil.
Damn.
think
And
Joel
this
just, like-
time, yeah, go ahead.
Maces it all the way through and then looks up at the Viper and she's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so this would be like you swing the mace, it caves in its chest, it goes right through it, and inside somewhere in its internal demon organs, you strike at its black heart, which immediately is evaporated, and the thing bursts from within with a divine light, which dissolves it in a brilliant flare and leaves no trace of the devil behind.
And she's still poisoned, so she coughs up some blood.
Make
She
a
coughs up a hairball.
yeah, make that the Constitution saving throw. You're still very poisoned and will be for another minute. Okay.
How much damage do I take?
You don't take any. It's
Oh.
just you cannot heal while you are poisoned.
Okay.
It goes along with the other thing that the glaive does. So the glaive and beard work together as a two-parter.
So I only got half of the crappy part.
Yeah, because the idea is the glaive cuts you deep enough that you bleed every turn, and if you take glaive and beard, you can't recover and you keep burning out health.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the Black Viper looks at you. It's still your turn. You can move. Black Viper looks at you and she says, "Now what?"
Now we go out, hopefully one of the doors on the ground level. Do you want to steal some silver while we're at it?
Normally, yes. Right now, I don't think we have the time. And she
then.
looks at the stairs and she says, "Down there." That's where that
Well-
thing came from.
Yeah, but the only exit doors that I saw were in the room where I think they summoned it. So let's kill some more demons.
After you, and she gestures for the
Attempts.
stairs.
Some bravado and goes down the stairs first.
All right. So carrying your light source, you head down the stairs. All right. So Black Viper and Floon Blackmar will follow along. So when you reach the bottom of the stairs, and now we'll come out of combat because you're not fighting anything right now. When you reach the bottom of the stairs, you see a man step out into the edge of your light. He's down here, and he so he has no shirt on. He's shirtless. He has tattoos of like he's got like a tattoo of like a minotaur, and the minotaur has like flaming skulls in its hands, and there's like a cool looking gargoyle like tattooed on his ribs. He has pants that are like goat legs, and then he has bare feet, and he comes out around the corner, and he says, "Oh, thank goodness you're here. I was kidnapped by this horrible cult, and you need, please help me escape."
Do I need to roll an insight check on him?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, cool.
However, you're not the only person here. So Floon is gonna make. So Floon leans over. He steps aside. He says, "There's something fishy about this guy's story. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't trust him."
Jewel leans over and is like, he's with the cult. The Asmodeus cult.
And so he like steps forward. He has his hands up, and he says, I don't remember much about after they kidnapped me from my store. You see, I'm a haberdasher, and I work in the South District. And these cultists, they broke in shouting something about hats, and they knocked me unconscious, and they dragged me here and dressed me in this getup, and also put these tattoos on me.
I'm sure. Why don't you show us the way out? Because
It's-
clearly they brought you in here
And
conscious.
he nods and he says, yes, it's just that way. And he gestures down this hall.
Why don't you show us?
But I don't. And he gestures.
Show
he says,
us.
I have neither weapon nor torch. I cannot see in this darkness.
I think you'll manage.
And
Jules trying to intimidate him
Like,
into
he-
leading the way.
I mean, yeah, if you want to give him the mace, then you
No,
could,
because she doesn't
but-
want to do anything.
Yeah.
Here, come with me. You show me the way.
And he says, it's just down this corridor. And gestures
So,
this way again. Like, just go that way.
Jewel knows that. I think she knows. She went on the top one, not on the
Yes,
bottom
you didn't
one.
go through this other one.
She doesn't trust him. Is he lying to her? I'll do an insight.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's see. Is this actually the way out? 18.
Let me roll. Mhm. I mean, it might or it might not be. Chances are
Okay.
pretty good. That's a way out, but he's definitely trying to get you to like walk into a trap.
Cool.
Yeah. And
She's like,
he looks at you
"No."
and he's like, you're being suspicious. So he looks at Floon and he's like, quickly, my lord, we have to go. And
Viper,
Floon,
I think we should stab him.
and he's like, what? Stab me? No, I don't. And Floon's like, I don't know if that's necessary. I'm really coming around on this guy.
Floon, I'll stab you too. And then
Floon's like, oh, God.
Jewel's gonna go up and kill him with her scimitar. He's an evil cultist, and she has a divine mission from a ghost.
So you just walk up and shove your sword into him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to roll. I think you just kill him. And Floon is just like, oh, Bane's balls. I'm gonna be sick. And he turns around. And he barfs on the floor. The Black Viper takes a step aside, not to get Floon barf on it. And he looks up and he's like, I'm not cut out for this adventuring stuff. Oh boy. Is there going to be a lot more murdering? Because I'm a little
Yes.
bit worried about my. Oh.
You can stay in your cell if you want.
Nope, no, it's fine. I could do it. It's fine.
Jewel points down that hallway. She's like, that's probably a trap. I
Ma-
know the other one led into the prayer room, so let's try that.
Yeah, and Floon's like, oh, the prayer room. That sounds nice.
She points at the like 18-foot painting of Asmodeus and like, I don't think it's nice.
And he turns and looks, and he's like, oh, hello there. Like looks at the painting. I mean, aside from the pointy horns, he doesn't look so bad. But maybe it's a tiefling.
She walks past him.
Oh, wait for me! And he like runs after you. Yeah, make another poison save to see if you're recovering.
Let's hope that I'm not poisoned.
Nope, you're still poisoned. You feel like shit.
Darn it.
You've got devil poison in your veins. Yeah, okay. So you head down that way. So meanwhile, we fade out on that and fade back in on the vault. 8 is very, very shut down. And the rest of you are in this room. Some of you are birds.
I think that
Some of you.
I mean, you know.
the dragon told me never to come back down there again.
Oh,
Yes, he
I
specifically
didn't-
said if I ever see you again.
I did not get told that. I'm gonna flap off into the darkness and go and try and get this dragon to help, or at least discern whether
But
the
it's-
dragon
it's-
can help or not.
It's very dark down there. Flying down a flight of stairs in the dark is going to be really difficult for you.
All right. Whatever. I'm
No,
doing.
no.
Take this.
Rin, I'll come with you. Just come here. I have a brain under one arm and then a raven on my other shoulder. I look really badass.
You're just carrying the dead brain?
I love it.
So this is my pet now. So
Carter preserves it
Rin-
into a jar.
as he sees you getting ready to leave, Rainier, like, where are you going?
Well, something's wrong with our friend. So we're going to ask the closest source of magical wisdom.
And he walks over as if he hadn't noticed before, and he walks over and he says, 8? And he like, shakes 8's arm, and nothing happens. He's like, oh gods, Oh, by Timora, Aid, please wake up. I couldn't bear to lose another one. Not today. Aid, please. And he's like shaking you, and you can't.
I look at
Trying to persuade him.
Makaria like,
You can
right
talk to him
here,
too if you want to.
alone. Like, should we leave him?
I'm already heading down the stairs.
Okay, I guess I'm coming with you.
I don't care that he's heartbroken.
And he like slides down to 8's feet and like clutches 8's legs and is just like sobbing and like, oh no. Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
cool.
And the two of you just leave.
I walk down the stairs, and when I get to the bottom, I loudly pronounce.
So it is. So for you, you can see dimly because of your dark vision, but for you, Ran, it is just total
Yeah,
darkness.
pitch darkness. Yeah.
Sir Dragon, I know you told me not to come back down, but we've run into a bit of a problem. I just have a question.
Silence.
Question. No,
Only silence.
nothing. Maybe he's gone. Was he still down here when you?
I can't see anything, so I confirm it by pecking you in the side of the head once.
You could answer with your words. Anyway.
There is something that sounds like she might be laughing.
Okay, I move forward
Mhm.
like, Mr. Dragon, please don't eat me. I swear I'm only trying to help. And no dragon. There's something right there. What's
I think
that?
that's a pillar.
Oh.
When you come around the corner, though, emerging from the darkness, flames dripping from its maw, you see the gold dragon, and he, Oranax, and he emerges around the corner, and he snarls, and he says to you, "What did I tell you about coming back to this place?" And he like, and he roars, and like fire like pours out of his mouth.
Like,
You told me not to.
what? Like, don't.
So you squawk, like, wait.
Yeah.
Rin, make a persuasion check.
This didn't go well last time, but okay. Yay!
Nice. All right, so he like takes a breath, like he's about to like blast fire all over Makaria, and you're like, wait, and he and he starts coughing, and smoke is like pouring out of his mouth. He's about to breathe fire, and you startled him, so he like hiccups and he inhales the fire, and so he's just like, he puts a talon up.
I like whisper.
By Bahamut,
over.
never interrupt a dragon who's about to breathe fire. Did your bird just speak?
I whisper over to Rin, and I'm like, I think it's best if you take this, so I'll just be your perch.
And I move from her shoulder to the top of her head.
Uh-huh.
And then sort of declare myself from there, like trying to copy her intonations, because it's easier to copy something than it is to like
Yeah, and you
come up
can't
with any
actually
original
form like
sound.
full sentences too. Like
Yeah,
you cannot
no,
speak.
I'm gonna go word
yeah.
by word, like croak it out. Here we go. I'm gonna try and make it work. 8 hurt, like, and like wave my wings towards like the stairs. Rainier.
And Oranax scowls and says, "What? There are 8 more of you upstairs."
Oh God.
No, I shake my head like no.
I don't. Two words. Sounds like.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Just this thing, and I hold up the brain.
And he scowls. And he's like, an intellect devourer. Where did you find that?
Inside. What was his name? That fellow. Meloon.
You found it inside a melon?
Someone's melon. Yes. It was inhabiting the body of one of our companions, who unfortunately is now deceased. But it did something to 8.
8 what?
And the robot. 8, our companion.
I speak 16 languages, and I don't know what that word means.
It is a name.
Construct.
Yes, your golem friend. The one that shot me with the arrow. He was an intellect devourer all along. Well, you shouldn't trust constructs. That's what I always say.
No.
An old gnome friend of mine told me that once. I've always taken it to heart.
I wish I could explain this.
As a hypothetical dragon person, do you have a name?
I am Oranax, mighty Oranax the Gold, chosen of Bahamut, guardian of gold, treasure keeper, master of the vault of dragons.
Yes, okay, I get it.
Well, you asked, so I thought
Ornax, if our friend was intellect devoured by this,
It's called an intellect devourer.
right, how would we undo that?
Well, if they've had their intellect devoured, then that's it. There's no hope for them. But usually when that happens, that thing you're carrying lives inside their head. I've seen it happen once or twice. Terrible.
Sitting on Vicaria's head, shaking my head furiously like, no, you have the wrong idea. No. Fine. Just stopped.
Yes. It's the way these things hunt their prey. They hollow you out and then climb inside the shell. I've never seen anyone recover from it before. Perhaps the Blackstaff might have an answer. He was always wise about these matters. Ooh, or Elminster. Elminster would know.
Who's that?
Old wizard.
Ugh, I hate wizards.
I caw loudly and like vociferously at your hatred of wizards.
Yes. Well, I guess we'll just have to find 7 or 9 or something. Let's go then.
And he says, so is someone coming to take the gold?
Yes, we're working on it.
All right. And stalks back, poutily.
Dragon. All right. Well, it looks like 8 is just down for the count. We'll deal with that later.
Blackstaff.
What about your friend that turned you into a bird? I rather liked him.
There's like a very like subdued like yes.
Well, we have to go back to him anyway to get you to not be like this. So perhaps we'll ask. Do you think if we just pushed 8 that their body would, operate of its own accord? Walking up the stairs.
Hope so.
Well, let's see what Rainier's up to. Rainier, have you had any success?
So you come to the top of the stairs, and Rainier has composed himself. He's got his weapons again, and he's just looking at 8 like he's looking at the grave of a dear departed warrior. Like he's just looking at him like with a hand on his breast. Like you can see him composing the ode in his head. And when you come up, he says, "What of Oranax? Have we an answer? Can they be saved?"
There's no hope for him.
Blackstaff! I give you a fucking peck.
Ow!
Lying.
And Rainier scowls and he says, "The High Mistress of Force Grey may yet indeed be able to help us, but she's so rarely available. She comes and goes from plane to plane, as most high wizards do."
And I sigh. I sigh and I say, Alistair.
Well, yes, let's go to Alistair now. And I like
goddamn Vicaria, your love of my pain.
Yeah. So I was still with Rin, and one arm's got the brain, and I just push at 8's chest area to see if I can get them to locomote.
No, 8 will not move.
Oh,
8 might as well be a statue of stone, metal, and wood.
God damn this thing.
I give you a shrug, I would help if I could, but I can lift a book, maybe.
It's fine. I've done this before. roll up my sleeves.
So I'll just recall to your attention the massive gap over which you cannot possibly hurl him.
I mean, can't we just dump him down the stairs? Down the gap? I did it before.
Yes, I mean you could just roll them off of the edge, but how many hit points you got right now, Dave?
Not enough.
I can spare the dying. It doesn't matter if they have hit points.
Actually, that's a good point. Spare the dying will save us.
Yeah, like they don't need hit points right now.
Just go and bring the people who are going to bring the gold anyway.
But then we leave you alone in the fine.
I was going to take you along.
Yeah,
Do
if you're
it
trying
again.
to if you're trying to figure this out, Rainier says, if you think that you have an answer and you could leave me a light source, I would be willing to stand vigil in Helm's name for our good companion. And he like pats Aid on the shoulder.
Well, fine. Their shield is lit. It's yours.
And they look at you for a second, Makaria, then they look at Rin. So this is addressed to Rin, even though Makari's not going to respond. Rainier says, please, for the sake of my fallen friend, for Melun, a cleric, a priest, someone, there may yet be hope in bringing him back.
I give him like a little head bob. Like, yep.
I'm right here.
I would not trust you with a corpse if it were the last thing I could possibly do. Especially not my corpse, nor one of people I love. You stay well away from old War Dragon's body.
He only tried to kill me, 2-3 times?
You know, Makari, if you spend your whole life finding that people are trying to kill you, the problem might not be with them. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Well, now that everybody is playing musical chairs, why don't we take our first break here?
Yeah.
And when we get back, we'll see about the remnants of Jules' situation, and if you can get out of the Castle Lantern Manor. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I think everybody's in the right place. Yes, I fixed it. Hi.
Hooray!
Hello. Welcome back. Okay, so
Sully.
Jewel, you have some things. You have some things to do. So, you are attempting to make your escape. Scimitar still bloody. Floon and the Black Viper in tow. What would you like to do?
Let's go through this doorway.
Yeah.
She's leading some people who can't see in the dark, so she's foregoing stealth.
Mm-hmm.
She's going swagger.
Okay, just striding. You're also like hacking and coughing and dying of poison.
Look, she's
too.
coughing up blood, and it's going great. So she strides forward into the room.
Okay, yeah, go on ahead. I'll have them follow you.
And sees what she sees.
All right. So yeah, you stride out into the hall. You can see the altar back here. And Floon, upon seeing it, says, "Oh boy, look at that thing." And he looks at you like, "We don't have to get any closer to that, do we?" There are dead bodies laying strewn about on the floor, as well as mysterious bloodstains and goat hoof prints.
Well, I think that devil took care of some stuff for us. She remembers that there was a door of some kind up here, and she has no idea where that goes.
Okay.
Or something. She also knows she needs to destroy.
That's right. You
the
made a promise. You made a promise to a ghost.
This is going to be a really
Never
slow
break a promise
process.
to a ghost. Let me see. I'll give you another description of that statue because it's pretty.
How big is
It's
it?
pretty cool. You're in room A7. Let's see. Let's see here. Here we go. Rows of flickering candles in iron candlesticks form a pathway to a 30-foot tall stone statue at the west end of the hall. The statue depicts a smiling, bearded man of diabolical bent. Hey, it's a statue of me. With small horns protruding from his brow and cloven hooves instead of feet. At the base of the statue, clutched in a stone claw erupting from the floor, a 3-foot deep, thanks, wizards, 9-foot diameter stone bowl filled with crackling flames. There also seems to be like a pool or something behind it.
Huh. She wonders how much of it she has to destroy. She probably turns to the other two and says, like, keep a lookout. There's a door, and she points to like the 2 places that she saw doors. I'm gonna check that one first.
Okay.
So she's gonna go to the small one, and she says, like, they can come with her because she has the light.
Okay.
And she's gonna try and open it or break it.
Yeah, it's just like a little door.
So what's inside?
Yeah.
Last time there was silver, so this time it might be good.
Okay. You open the door and peer inside.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be a closet. In this room, this tiny room, this storage closet,
Their approach.
there is let's see, the cabinet contains a golden decanter and shelves holding wooden wine goblets.
Jewel looks at it for slightly too long.
I mean, if you had to guess, you'd say it's worth it's a golden decanter.
Yeah.
It's worth some money.
She swipes it. She hands it to Floon. Carry it.
And he holds it, and he's got a
Don't
scimitar in one hand and the wine decanter in the other. And he looks at it and he says, "I am afraid, milady, I am only proficient in one of these two implements."
Or drink it and find out whether or not it'll poison you.
Yeah, alas, our fate is such that it is empty.
She's gonna go back and she's gonna go look at what's happening with the statue altar pool nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you come back in. If there's a statue, you can go check it out. So it looks like an underground stream flows from the west side of the temple and into a pool here. So there's like a hole in the wall where this water like streams down into this section.
Does the water? Is it fresh water or salt water?
It would be fresh.
Okay. I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? Is her thought process / she mumbles out loud. And then she kind of looks up at the statue and she's like, eyes it, looks at me like, I can't destroy this on my own.
The mace verily like vibrates in your hand with its excitement over destroying this blasphemous thing. Floon walks over to examine one of the tapestries of, how did I describe them before? mortal pleasures.
Yep.
And he walks over and he looks at it and he says, "Hey, this looks just like my Saturday night." And he puts his hand up on the thing and he falls through it. The tapestry folds and he tumbles into a hidden chamber behind. So he's like, "Ah!" And like you hear him like fall into a hole.
It was useful. You okay?
It's very dark back here. I think I
Shines the light
sprayed something.
in there for him.
Yeah, you want to go take a look?
Yeah.
Ta-da. So looking beyond, you see a slightly embarrassed Floon Blagmar. He has tumbled onto the floor in this other like chamber. He gets up and brushes himself off.
Is there a doorway or like does it lead anywhere? He
can't see in the dark, and you're not shining light down this way. Yeah, so it goes back. So from here you can see, yeah, so there's like a wider area of pool back here, and Floon goes over to investigate it. And you can see that over there in the corner, here, let's just clear your poison because there's nothing causing it anymore. It goes away. You can see that there's an area over here that's like a little bit narrow, but you could probably like go down there. The water is not so deep and you wouldn't have to swim. It's a bit of a squeeze. And Floon looks at you and he looks at the pool and he looks at the little stream and he's like, no way. No, you're not. Nope.
Okay, then let's go back and find some more cultists.
Well, I wasn't saying that. Let's not be hasty.
I mean, I think those are our two options, unless you have a better idea.
Oh boy. And he looks at it. He looks at you. But I've already bathed this fortnight.
No, you haven't.
He's like, I was in a jail.
Exactly.
You
It's
hear
time to freshen up.
You hear a voice from the other room. You hear the Black Viper say, well, what's back there?
We think we found a way out, unless we want to go check for more cultists.
I just as soon never see another cultist in my life.
Sort of comes back to the entrance.
The mace begins to vibrate again. Like, let's kill the thing. Come on.
Give me a second. Jill goes over and smashes the statue a couple of times.
Merely tapping the statue with the mace causes it to ring out like a terrible bell and shatter into 1,000 pieces. Just
I did not see that
blows
coming.
up. Everybody has to and there's like chunks of stone rain down in slow motion. And the Black Viper is like, wow, that's a hell of a mace.
No, I think it's a heaven of a mace.
That's a good joke.
All right, let's go waiting.
You're very funny.
She's like, I've fulfilled your, she yells back, I fulfilled your promise. It's destroyed. Your children are probably still evil, but I'll deal with them later. Bye.
Somewhere far away, an old ghost nods and strokes his beard. Yes, a great evil has been undoneth this evening. Everybody kind of gathers around the pool. The Black Viper looks at you and says, I thought cats hated water.
I didn't say I liked this.
Well, I mean, the water has to come from somewhere. And worst case scenario, we get stuck in there and we all drown. Floon, was it? And Floon nods and he says, yes, Floon Blagmar, milady. You look so familiar to me. Have we met somewhere? No, we haven't. And you hear her like deep in her Batman voice a little. She's like, no, I don't know you. And she looks at the water. You're the one with the light source, Jewel.
All right, let's go. She squeezes her way into this tunnel.
All right.
Uncomfortable and damp.
Floon follows, and the Black Viper behind her. So, the other team, you all leave. You leave the vault, right?
Yeah.
And where do you go? You go to Alistair's?
I think so.
Yeah. Probably.
Because there were some hints that the Blackstaff was not going to be around.
She did say, like, I have to leave. I've got
Yeah.
shit to do.
And like last time I talked to her, she was like, nope. So
And also, Rin's still a bird.
Yeah, it actually only lasts an hour. So I think like as you are leaving, Rin, you start to feel the magic start to fade. And do you get off of Makaria's shoulder before you turn?
no.
All right. So Makaria, all of a sudden, Rin appears on your shoulder and the two of you like tumble to the ground.
Collapse into the dirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like roll off of you, take a deep breath, and like stand up and dust myself off. Like,
You couldn't have warned me.
I didn't know it was going to happen. Whatever version of the spell he uses, I don't know. You know, like the year could have started then for all I wait, you don't know about that.
Sorry, what was that?
Well, in order to get his assistance, I needed to bargain away some of my time.
A year of your time.
A year of my time. I'm not looking forward to what I have to pay this time.
To be collected at any moment?
To be collected when he wants it.
Let's go visit. Why don't we? I'm sure he'll be able to help aid. Maybe he'll ask for another year, but if you're giving them away.
God, I hate you.
You should give up a year of Makaria's time.
Makaria's time is useless.
I don't think he
Sure.
wants my
The
time.
problem with Makaria's time is that it's useless. Yeah, so I guess that's where we go.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I need to get help. And I also mentioned on the way, like we also need to seek a cleric. But I suppose we can ask about that once we get there.
I know a few of them.
So let's take a second here. I'm gonna look
Please.
mechanically at what actually, because it doesn't say in the
Great restoration.
Yeah,
Greater
so it is Greater
Restoration.
Restoration.
It's a
Okay.
greater
Yeah.
resto.
So Greater Restoration. Let's see.
Third
here.
level spell.
I mean, a wish could do it too, but no one's gonna cast that on your behalf.
That's
I mean,
So 5th level bard.
any reduction to one of the target's abilities.
5th level bard, druid, or cleric spell. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I obviously cannot do it.
So you need
But
what,
also-
a ninth
but also-
level cleric to do it?
But also, what I would say is that we both failed our Arcana checks, so
Yeah.
going to a wizard makes sense. I don't know.
No, totally. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, a wizard could probably get us some floating discs to move all of this fucking gold too. We
you
have
do
that
not
issue.
want to tell Alistair that there's
I was gonna say, do
500,000
you wanna
gold?
tell fucking
'Cause-
lawful evil wizard about the gold under the
yeah,
sea? 'Cause
he
I
would just
think
be
that's
like,
a
how about I
terrible
just
idea."
kill all of you instead, and I enslave Rin, and I just get that gold for myself. Thank you so much, Makaria, you stupid corpse. Finger of
looking-
death.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this conversation goes. Let's
Yeah,
go
so
our
we fade to Alistair's estate. And this time, Alistair greets you in his more natural form. Though you're not really sure, Rin, like what he has all these different Alistairs that he wears. This one is a more common one.
Over the course of 10 years, it was like 3 years of that.
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
So he emerges and he looks pissed. There's something like he's angry about something, and it's not he's angry at you, but he looks distracted and angry.
That's bad.
And he comes storming down the stairs, and he just says to you, Rin, he's like, back so soon. Very well. And he starts casting polymorph on you. Like, all right.
Wait, just a moment, please. Master, separate issue.
So this man that you're speaking to, Makaria, looks like he is the son or grandson of the man you spoke to before. Much younger. He's got
No,
like
he transformed at the end of our
so you
last
saw,
conversation.
you've seen it before, but he's actually more so than he's like more handsome and like slightly more muscular and like
The more black haired than gray.
yeah, like he just looks like he's put on like an even more less like I'm a knowledgeable dude and more just like like he was talking to somebody he put this face on for. And so you stop him and he says, what do you want? If not to come back and recoup your debt to me.
Well, you can, of course, per our agreement, call that in at any time. If now is the time, then fine. But I would like to, if I may, comment. Well, I have another request. We have a friend who is been afflicted by an intellect devourer. That was the name, wasn't it? I look
It's
over
one.
it. Oh, you've still got it?
It was in my bag, but I take it out of my bag.
Blah! And he scowls and is like, disgusting. You just carry that around in your bag.
Well, when I go home, I'll put it in my basement, but for now,
It's dripping on my floor.
oops.
And you all kind of ominously look down at this, like, these drops of ichor that have landed on
I
the
try
floor.
and sort of like step in front of it, like let's not
Yeah, don't worry about that right
on
now.
me for the moment. Yeah. And I say, afflicted but not eaten. It didn't get into his head. It came out of someone else, and we managed to kill it before it.
And what happened to this poor unfortunate?
He's
Wh-
there.
Which of the poor unfortunates? The one whose head exploded, or the one who is completely dumbfounded at this point?
I assume the fool you're referring to is your mechanical companion.
Yes, that one. I know you're not particularly happy with how things went down last time, and I can assure you that his interactions with you in the future will be a lot polite, should there be any.
He shrugs non-committally. And
We merely wanted to know if you knew of a way to reverse the effects. If not, I really could care less.
he puts his hands out and he says, I am the great wizard Alistair, fool. Of course I know a way. I know several ways, a half dozen off the top of my head. My research library will contain another 100 more. But why I should help you, I cannot conjure that thought.
Well, then comes the payment section, I suppose. I've already given you some of my time. I don't have much else.
In exchange for answers.
Macaria. Kill Macaria.
I have a few.
I mean, I try this one, but I know it's not going to work. And I'm like, very low bow, like, my undying gratitude for your assistance.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm like really trying to lay it on here. 20?
And he grins and he says, Rin, you always were my favorite servant. And he looks at Macaria and he says, you could learn something from this one, cleric.
Why would I want to be subservient to anyone, much less you?
Because at least Rin has a master that can do something for her. You've sworn away every year of your life to a dead god no one cares about anymore.
I care about my god.
Well, a church of one is just a madman, isn't it? And he sighs, and he says to you, if you want to help your friend, Rin, you're going to have to find a cleric. A suitably strong one, a priest with some depth of devotion. Maybe one of the kindlier gods. Visit the Temple of Lathander.
Must we?
Do you have a personal recommendation?
I tend to avoid priests. Their
No, it's fine, Rin. I
obsequiousness
know.
disgusts me.
I know clerics. I know some clerics. We can fucking.
We need a cleric for Maloon anyway.
Do we?
He raises an eyebrow. Maloon War Dragon.
And I realize I fucked up and go, yes, master, because I would not lie to him. That would be a very bad idea.
No, that's my axe. You can't have it.
And he says, how interesting. And how is poor War Dragon afflicted?
Rather off his feet at the moment.
And he looks at your like dripping corpse purse, and he says, I begin to see the nature of things. Oh, Vajra Safar must be so upset. Oh, wait. Have you told her yet?
She has been out of contact, Master.
Oh, this is very good. You've brought me quite the gift, Rin. Let me be the one to deliver news that her poor Melun War Dragon has died. And above and beyond that, was habited by an intellect devourer all along. And what of Azur Edge, his axe?
I know not what has happened to it yet.
But he was wielding it in your presence? You saw the thing.
I saw an axe.
It landed several times in my shoulder, so I would say yes, I saw the axe.
Well,
Why is that valuable to you? Rin, maybe you don't need to give up a year entirely. How valuable?
I haven't had to give up anything.
the deal that is struck is done. But I would love to take a look at that axe. Melun strutted up and down the street, wielding that thing like he was Pirgron Paladin's son. Bring it to me. I do so desire to look on it.
If we find ourselves in the neighborhood, maybe we will. But we have to go find a cleric now, don't we? Come on.
It was not a request, corpse servant. Bring me the axe.
Hey, Adam, could you make an intimidation or persuasion check for me? Just like I need to gauge how I'm gonna reply to this in character.
Totally. Let me see. No, I could just do this.
He can look, but he can't touch it. That's what he is.
Look, people watching at home.
Oh, you didn't have to touch it. You just have to look at it.
This is a cool trick that I did not know about until very recently. If I click this little down arrow, it's the whole stat block. Look at this. Yeah, it's little things I didn't even know about. So let's see. Arcana, history. Okay, all right. So it's a +3.
Yeah, whatever skill you think is the appropriate skill.
I'll just roll it out in the open so you can see. He is very persuasive.
She keeps her head down and her eyes on her shoes and says, "Yes, of course, Master."
Very good.
We'll go and speak to a cleric now.
They'd have some wheelbarrows at the City of the Dead too.
And he just very well. Get the fuck out of here.
Out of there.
I don't want to see the clerics of Lathander. They're awful. I hate them.
Okay, so you leave. We crossfade.
Crossfade.
We fade to somewhere outside the city of Waterdeep. We can see the walls in the slight distance. The tide is out, so we see some kelp up on rocks, and we can see pools of mud. If we could smell, it would smell terrible. The walls have bird shit all over them, and we can hear seagulls kind of in the distance. And next to, as we sort of pan down, we see a big stone pipe, basically a big pipe sticking out of the wall, and there is a metal grate on it. And we hear a wet gurgling sound as it barfs some sewage out into the ocean. And then, as we linger, we see a light emerge from the end of the tunnel and approach the grate. And then a mud-soaked furry hand opens the grate.
I was gonna say, and then they hit the bars and are stuck.
So Jewel, Floon, and the Black Viper emerge out of the this hidden tunnel into the mud flats, they're out here somewhere. The mud flats of Waterdeep. Everyone is just looking like a horrible mud monster, all covered in goo, and so you come out. And Floon looks around and he says, "Well, that could have been worse."
Jewel puts the mace away finally.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I can stop carrying that thing." Yeah, it would have been better if you hadn't had to sing the entire way through the tunnel.
I just thought it would keep us motivated. I'm sorry, I only know songs about lusty topics.
I definitely walked faster than I would have.
Well, then you
So
see,
looks-
I'm a great motivator. I think I should
Okay.
become a bard.
She looks back at him and is like, I already have one of those in my life. I don't need you.
I could go on my own adventures. I have a scimitar now. And he waves it a little bit, and then the blade comes off and falls in the water. Oh well. He throws it
Do
aside.
you climb?
And he looks up at the wall and he says, well, no, but, and he points, the west gate's down there, and we could just walk. Nice walk on the
Or
beach would
walking
do
with
us some
you.
good.
Maybe I should just climb.
And he says, he's like, what do you think? And he turns around, and of course, the Black Viper has just Batmaned on you. She's gone.
As soon as Jewel sees that the Viper's gone, she's like, go say hi to the guards for me. She starts climbing up the wall.
She gets Commissioner Gordoned.
Yeah, totally. And he looks, he's like, well, but what if I'm absconded with along the way? I've still enemies among the Castellanters. Or anyone else who thinks I look too much like Ready or Never Ember. Do you think I should get a haircut?
Here. She holds up the scimitar and will offer to cut his hair.
And he's like, well, not now. I mean, by a professional. God,
Well,
I
then
wouldn't let
can't
you.
help you.
I mean, no offense or anything, but you don't even have hair.
You're not wrong.
So you're just going to abandon me here in the mud flats.
Well, you're lucky I rescued you.
Am I? I mean, of course I am. Yeah, yes. Fine.
Are you? We can put you back. She points
No,
back
no,
at
I
the
didn't
tunnel.
mean it. A moment of weakness. I'll head for the west gate, and then home to take a long bath. And then, what time do you suppose it is? I could still make it to the yawning portal for lunch, I think, if I hurry. Well, thanks for rescuing me, and if you ever see your mysterious friend again, tell her I said hello. She could find me at the portal.
I will tell her that you will be at the portal.
Yes, but
So
tell her I
she
said
will
hello.
avoid you.
And but do it. Oh, you know what? Never mind. And he's,
Oh, sorry. Like this. Hello.
That's not what I sound like. This has been a very long day. Yeah. Hey. And he begins trudging off towards the west gate, singing to himself about the many romantic conquests of Elminster. Listen, if I've learned anything at all from reading Forgotten Realms novels, it's that Elminster
is
fucks.
sexy. Yeah.
Elminster fucks like crazy. That is canon. We
Yeah.
know it.
No, totally.
It is in the books. That guy likes to fucking throw down at any moment. So I have learned, and Floon knows this. So yeah. So off he goes.
Even if Jewel thinks that she can't actually make it over the wall, she's still gonna wait for him to get all the way through the gate before she walks any farther.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the thing is like it's not so much the climbing that'll be the problem. It'll be the guards at the top who are like, excuse me.
Yeah, she knows that. So she just sort of sits there on the beach and like watches for a little while, like picks some seaweed out of her fur, and then sees Floon has gone far enough away and sort of gets up and then starts walking towards the west gate.
Just to let him go in first. Okay.
She's like, I just can't walk with him
All
any
right.
farther.
So where do you go? Like once you get through the west gate, you're filthy. You smell like sewage and beach travel and blood. Where do you go?
How did she have any idea how like illegal the worship of Asmodeus is?
I don't think it's illegal to worship. If it were illegal to worship like shitty demon gods, Macaria would be in jail.
Also be in jail. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're allowed to worship whoever you want. It's what you do in service of that worship.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
it's like it's the sacrifice
Summoning
and
devils is probably bad.
I think summoning creatures from the planet. You at least need like a license for that, I think.
So I think she in her full bedraggled attire.
Yeah.
She's gonna go find those freaking cops. Cause she still feels this like burning righteousness from the mace that she's like, I need to get rid of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's gonna probably like let them know about the secret potential. She assumes she was under the castle enter estate, but at the very least, she will show them the entrance on the wall. Like, here's where I got in. She'll tell them that piece of information. Be like,
Okay, so where would you go to find?
Does she know where they work?
Like they were supposedly they were watching your house.
All right, she goes home.
So you could just go home
Just
and
gonna go home.
goes
like,
home.
just
and,
ask one of all the cops that are on the beat of your neighborhood know, like, this is the house that
Just
we got
sneaks up on one of them,
operation.
taps him on the shoulder. I need to speak with them.
Yeah, I think it's very hard for you to sneak up on anyone because you smell so
I smell
bad.
disgusting.
Yeah,
She
you're a
tries.
big wet kitty. Okay, all right, so you head home. So meanwhile, Rin, Macaria, where are you going?
I assumed the city of the dead to find a
Temple
cleric.
of Lathander.
No.
So you walk out of Alistair's estate and both start going in different directions.
I'm like, the city of the dead will be no help. They are clerics for people who are dead and wish to remain dead. That is not helpful to us.
But I don't.
Lathander, the Morning Lord is the correct choice, and it is the recommendation of my master.
But they're
fighting back.
so happy. Oh, the
I
Fine.
am so happy to be able to tell you that you're being an idiot and leave and head to that temple right away. And she just turns and goes like,
Do you follow Macaria?
well, I mean, everyone in the city of the dead would probably just be like, "How dare you get back into our acolyte's house and worship Kalimvor?" So I guess it's probably
well, and also like they want people to be dead, right? That's their whole deal.
No, that's not this.
Kalimvor, their jam
They would
is like
still have restoration and stuff.
Well, yeah, restoration is fine. Like, I don't know what they think about like bringing
About
people back to
resurrection,
life. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you're gonna head for the spires of the spires of the morning, which is
I guess.
over this way.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Gross.
So the two of you go to the spires of the morning. Let me get a description of these spires.
Do I have any ink in my bag?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Let's see here. Built of pink marble, this 3-story cathedral is capped by 7 spires of copper, gold, and silver that gleams with reflected glory of dawn's first light. Aw, lovely. And it's summer, too, so it would just be beautiful and shiny. And yeah, it's in a massively swag temple. It's huge and beautiful, and people really like Lathander, right? He's a very popular god. Everybody likes when the sun comes up in the morning. And so yeah, you arrive, and there's there are people, there are priests gathered about, lay worshippers and what have you. And you come to the temple, and yeah, Macaria, this place is like, oof. Yay,
I can also make you suffer.
That's right. Now it's your turn. It's like bringing a Satanist to a Catholic church, like the Vatican. So you arrive, and as you walk into the gardens of the Spire of the Morning, people like see you as they come up, and you get a little like some hat tips and some like, "Good morrow, my friends. Welcome to the Spires of the Morning," and everyone's being really friendly and like, yeah.
I have a headache.
Good morning. I was hoping we might engage the services of a cleric that resides here. Someone
You grab like a random like monk or something.
Yeah, like grab somebody who works here. And we need someone of significant power, enough to bring someone back from the dead.
No, that's not what we're doing.
Their eyes go wide. A mighty errand. I am sorry for your loss, my lady.
Rin, we're just trying to get 8's brain back.
But if this cleric can also do that, then they can get Maloon back. And
why do we care about Maloon? He tried to kill me.
Because I said to Rainier that I would get a cleric, and he is very upset and will pay probably if he gets what he wants. Whereas if he doesn't, I have no money.
Do you have any ink?
The monk is very politely like, I'm not listening. No, I'm talking to someone else. Everything is fine.
Turn back
Yeah.
to the monk. Like, Rainier Neverember would like to engage the services of a cleric of significant power so that they can bring back a dear friend of theirs.
Well, my friend, you find yourselves in the shadow of the Spires of the Morning, in which many clerics, some who may be able to assist you, could be found. May the blessings of Lathander carry you to your destiny. this way, please. And like the monk leads you into the temple. Now, a spell to restore 8 is going to be very expensive.
Greater restoration.
Yeah. Where's the thing about?
Don't we have 500,000 gold?
You don't have
pieces
any
that are-
gold right
We
now. You
have
have no
0
gold
gold.
at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we know where we could find some.
Your parents are rich.
Look, I'm just gonna make.
Okay, we don't even know where Jewel is.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing at a time. So I think rather than like
regular
necessarily like role playing out, interacting, like it's fine. This is a place you
Yeah,
could go
sure.
to like
Yeah,
pay
go
for
get
a
this
spell, and
service,
a
yeah.
generic like a priest could if you can afford it.
Yeah.
However, you have
Johnny,
no gold on
Johnny
hand.
Lathander comes with us, and
Yeah, totally.
Is he gonna come with us though?
That's usually the tradition. Traditionally, the body is brought to the spires and is brought back to life. But what do you? I guess let me know what you're trying to do here. You want to get
I
someone
want
who
to
can.
engage the services of a cleric.
Yeah, but it costs per spell basically. So as players, we got to figure out what you're trying to do.
I need to greater restoration 8,
Yeah.
and hopefully, whatever the cheapest version, Raise Dead, I guess. On
No, raised that he'd be a zombie.
Okay, no, yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of the wrong edition.
Mhm.
Resurrect on Maloon. His head
Okay.
is missing.
What about
so
Revivify?
Revivify is not. I don't think it's good
Yeah,
enough.
he's been dead longer than a minute.
Yeah. Resurrection. Yeah, that would be the spell. It is a 7th level.
Seventh level.
Seventh
Yeah,
level
it's
spell,
very
and
high.
it costs a diamond worth 1,000 gold. So you got to pay for the mats. There's a table, right? Like how expensive
Yeah, I remember
is?
there was one, but I don't remember what book it was in.
Let me look at Raise Dead because Raise Dead might also work.
It was part of Adventurers League stuff.
You
I'm pretty
return
sure.
yes, Raise Dead works. No, it doesn't. Raise Dead doesn't work because he has no brain. He needs his brain. So you need to resurrect him.
A resurrection.
Yeah. Closes all mortal wounds and restores missing body parts. Yeah. So you have a 7th level spell and a
Third.
and a
level,
third
I think,
level.
for
Yeah, I think it's in
No, Greater
Xanathar,
Restoration
maybe?
is 5th.
5th.
Is it 5th? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
at the very least. I think we'd need to pay for the mats before they did it.
Yeah.
Especially before they come with us into a dungeon.
Oh, that's that would be a surcharge to like go with you somewhere dangerous. So it's 1,000 gold for the mats. Let me grab, I think it's Xanathar's.
I mean, it's well above my price range of 0.
Yeah, but you still need to
so-
figure out how much you owe them.
That's true.
Greater Restoration. It is a diamond dust worth 100 GP.
Okay. So it's another
1100.
100. Okay. All right. And let me see if there's like a spell. Yeah, it's like how much if you buy something from someone.
I remember.
I got 50 gold on me.
No, you're not even.
I do. I have 50 gold worth of silver bars.
Okay, well, we have a very large cache of gold in a basement guarded by a dragon.
I mean, I have an adamantine bar and a bronze dragon skill.
The stuff in
And by when I say I have it, I mean you.
it looks like the stuff in Xanathar's is it looks like it's for downtime for making magic items and selling magic items.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
that
we
is
can use the Adventurers League stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely we're getting spellcasting services in the Adventurers League stuff. I don't know the 8th. I don't know the most recent season. It changed everything.
Okay, let me look. Adventurers League spellcasting services. Here we go. Spellcasting services are needed after the adventure is concluded. Here we go. All right. So, this costs resurrection costs 3,000 gold. And
Is that including the price of?
yeah, resurrection is 3,000 gold, and I think that does include. Yeah, these include the cost. So
Okay.
it's 3,000 gold for bringing Mayloon back to life, and then it's another 450 for fixing.
Okay, that Mayloon stuff is Rainier's problem.
I mean, it's all Renio's problem if we get the resurrection, because then we.
So
can
the
just,
thing about Rainier Neverember is that he's a noble, but he's broke because his dad
He doesn't have that money.
he
I
doesn't
don't
have any
care
money.
about Mayloon War Dragon coming back to life.
Yeah, that's fine.
He killed me.
Yeah, you take the cleric there and be like, hey, we don't have 3,000 gold, so we wanted you to talk to him. And he'll be like, I can't afford that. And I'll be like, great, I get to keep the axe. It's fine.
So
So
was
here's the thing. You can
Rainier's thing, like we want to resurrect this guy, or was he
Yeah,
just
that
like we
was
want to
Rainier.
lay him to rest in a proper manner?
he specifically asked like
Rainier
if
asked
we
for a
can
resurrection.
if we can bring him
Oh,
back to
okay.
life, please. Like
Which
plus
is
remember
why I am asking for this.
yeah,
at
and
all.
plus remember Rainier's a harper, right? So he can and
He can ask
also
the Harpers.
Vajra Safar recommended Melun to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So
a whole
he
bunch of
died.
people. There's a whole bunch of people who can.
Yeah, she
Fine.
has to pay for it because she gave us faulty goods and we're going to
She didn't know. Okay, I think if
The
you
warrior you sent was possessed.
I think Rin, if you're willing to like tell me the plan, like what do you tell the priest? And then
I tell the priest that in a dangerous expedition, 2 people have become gravely injured. One requires a resurrection, the other requires a restoration, greater restoration.
right.
And that we can't move them because they're the big people of the group and it's like impossible.
Okay.
So we need you to come with us to go and like get them back on their feet.
Yeah.
And that you'll be paid for that by like I can't pay you now, but there are people who will owe that money to the Temple of Lathander.
Okay. Do you name drop anybody or anything? Like
I of course name drop Vajra Safar because it's Force Gray.
do you have a Force
I have
Gray
a
like
Force
badge,
Gray
right?
like pin, yeah.
Okay.
And of course I mentioned Rainier Neverember.
Okay.
In the story.
Okay. Make a I don't know that you have to make a persuasion check in this case. You don't make the check.
Yeah. Okay.
We didn't roll law to know that name dropping Melun being dead specifically is a big deal, right?
No. Yeah. Rin. I think Rin was saying Melun because Alistair made a big deal out of it, right? Because Alistair was like, "Oh, that's Vajra's friend."
Yeah, because he like knew who that was.
Because what he wants is to gloat, right? He wants to be like, "I've got the axe. Nice. Okay."
Yeah.
So the goodly priestess, a tear in her eye, the glorious light of Lathander in her heart, promises you that she will do everything she can to restore your friend's life, that she will come with you personally, and in the name of the Morning Lord, bring back to life your dead friend and restore 8's power. And I think that I think that happens. And I think that's all part of kind of the post bit, because there's no more danger, right? There's no danger between you and this thing. So what happens is she comes back with you to the because I assume you go right away.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So she comes back with you to the temple or to the vault.
The door's closed.
The door's not closed. No.
That would
The
suck.
dragon does not close the door. And yeah, Rainier makes some secret listen, priestess.
He gives the priest the secret Harper handshake.
Yeah, the secret Harper elbow bump, fucking backflip. They sing "I'm a Harper and I'm okay"
because everyone
It's not-
knows
yes,
it.
Everyone knows it. You can read about it on Wikipedia. And they talk. Rainier begs the priestess to like bring his friend back to life.
I whisper to Rin, like, hey, can I kill her after she's done with this? And Rin says, no, you can't.
It's easy enough to fix 8. Right.
Also,
it's a
she
quick
would
spell.
fucking kick our ass if she can cast
Yeah, she's a big deal.
resurrection.
She
sorry,
probably
we have to
brings like a paladin or something with her because she's going into a
Yeah.
dangerous place.
Yeah.
So they heal 8, and with the glorious light of Lathander, they bring back holy formed and alive Melun, the hero of Waterdeep, Melun War Dragon, who in a tearful embrace is reunited with his friend, and with his axe. And
Fuck. Damn you.
I have a mace for you. I know it's a consolation prize, but I had to convince a ghost to give it to me.
And he apologizes like deeply to you, and tells you that the last thing that he remembers is watching his friends die in a terrible, terrible battle deep below the city of Waterdeep in an awful dungeon called Undermountain.
Oh.
He and his friends, adventurers, delve down there, and he remembers all of them being attacked by mind flayers. and watching them one by one die under the predations of these creatures before
That sounds like a place I never want to go and never will go.
before he himself was slain. He thought himself dead. He doesn't remember anything that happened after that except waking up here. And Rainier says, there is much to tell you, Mayloon. But first, let's all go back to the yawning portal and get a drink, shall we?
There's still the matter of removing some objects from a place for our friend Orvax or whatever.
So I think at that point when you're like, well, there's still the matter of, and then we cut over and we see Jewel and the City Watch. And so Jewel, it's got it. Yeah, we got to like wrap it all up. So Jewel, this is later, right? So you went to the City Watch to tell them what? Like, I got kidnapped by the Castellanters?
Yeah, basically. But she's like, it's not a big deal. We escaped. But the important part is the Castellanters definitely worshiping Asmodeus, summon a bunch of demons, a lot of corpses in their basement. Totally the demons' fault.
I mean, collateral damage is a thing.
So you might, I don't know if you want to do anything about that, but they're kind of bad.
And and so the officers.
Oh, and we got the vault open. I don't remember what happened after that though.
Right, and so the officer, what's his name, Blastwind, Barnabas. He's taking notes while his friend. Yeah, that's okay. They don't care. While his friend, Officer Cromley, he says, and Olis, you're saying you'd be willing to swear to it before a priest of Tyr in a high court.
That what?
That the Castellanters are a bunch of demon-worshipping villains.
Oh, yeah. They have like an 18-foot statue down there. I broke it with a mace that a ghost gave to me.
And they both look at you like, He's like, right. All right. Well. And he turns and he says, I think it's about time to wrap this up, eh, Barnabas? And Barnabas is like, oh, yes, quite. Let's go. Now to the vault, and then we'll deal with those Castellanters later. Miss Jewel, if you would, come with us, please.
It's the entire reason Jewel goes to Undermountain. Get out of jury duty.
Right. Yeah. So so you and the city guard head off to the vault, and we will. I think we'll begin our next section. We'll take a break here, and we'll begin our next section there with the epilogue of Dragon Heist. We'll talk about rewards. Everybody will finally get to level up. We'll figure out where all the gold goes, and we'll do our denouement.
It's my dream to be a level 5 cleric.
After this. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Roll20 Presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist. The heisting is done. The treasure is dredged up from Oranax's vault. Oranax is let free from his servitude and takes his magic stick and goes about his business. The city guard comes and in wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow, and with much ado, there's like a parade of gold being just dredged up from this place as if it were a mine.
Fuck yeah.
People gather like in the streets to watch and gossip, and there is a sense among the people of Waterdeep that like this is a crime being made good, right? This is the return of their money, right? Even though it's not going back into their pockets, it's going back into the city of Waterdeep. Very quickly, your names and deeds are spread throughout the city for the next week.
Oh no, Jewel.
Right? For the next week, it's all anybody at the Yawning Portal will talk about. You get all the free drinks you want, and
Yes!
and a ton of attention. Lots and lots of like cheering, and every time you go into the bar, everyone's like, "Hooray! It's the heroes of the Dragon Heist." Yeah,
Most of the time.
yeah. The Castellanters, when you go to arrest them, so we get a scene of the city guard going to the Castellanter villa, where unfortunately they find only the bodies of the Lord and Lady Castellanter, who have seemingly in a fit of desperation killed themselves with poison. So they lie dead. Their children, however, are missing. The children of the Castellanters are not found in the villa.
I ate them.
No living thing is found in Castellanter Villa.
Ow. Ate those babies.
I mean, we already know.
You
one of them
can't eat
probably
babies.
sacrificed.
I can.
I can and I will. So yeah, so they basically they're like, well, we can't try dead bodies, so
I don't have to.
I
don't need
mean,
to be
speak
aware.
with the dead.
And
You
Jewel
can.
just disappears.
You can try dead bodies.
Yeah, but I mean they can't. You can't. There's
There's no
nothing in the
point.
law that says you can try someone after they've died. Like once they're dead, they're they belong to the gods. You can't conjure them up and then punish them. Not in Waterdeep, you can't. This isn't Thay, all right? Come on.
I mean, I'd love to, but
Waterdeep is a liberal democracy, not a whatever Thay is. Megocracy? Autocratic megocracy? Anyway.
It is definitely an autocratic majocracy.
Yeah, it really is. So the Castellanters have gone missing. The Castellanter scions have disappeared. But the other Castellanters, in a fit of unexplained desperation, are found dead. What do you do? I mean, you get a week of like, hooray, celebrating and being excited.
I have to try and convince Miloon Wardragon to part with his axe.
It'll never happen.
But I have to try.
So I know. So we can do these in like little scenes. So Rin, at some point, while Makaria is getting trashed, and everybody else is hanging out in the Yawning Portal, you find Miloon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if it's at the Yawning Portal, like sitting
He's
across
in his
from our
room.
table, or-
You haven't seen much of him around. But you wanna go up there?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you approach his door. You can hear the sounds of everybody like still like singing and drinking, and there's things going on downstairs. But as you walk up,
Knock on the door.
you hear him. He's speaking to someone inside.
I give the door like a.
Okay. You don't want to eavesdrop before you knock, or you're just gonna.
Maybe I should.
like,
Maybe I should. I'm about to knock. And I listen.
Yeah. And so you hear him. You only hear half the conversation, and he says, "But I could have done more. No, I tried, and I've been having these nightmares about what I did. I don't want to go back down there."
I think
can't.
now I knock.
Okay.
Like
And there's
I
like
listen a little bit. And
yeah. So he stands up, and you hear him like walk over, and he opens the door a little bit just so you can see him, and he's like, "Oh, Rin, what is it?"
Are you feeling any better?
There's a rueful smile. I feel fine.
if it's any consolation, seeing and doing things you don't want to see and or do is something I'm quite familiar with, and I understand why you're feeling.
He gives you a look like
Way
you
you are.
couldn't possibly understand my pain. And he not, but his eyes say that. His eyes are like, you don't know the shit I've seen. But he says, that's very kind of you, Rin. Thank you.
I was wondering if we could talk about something that I may have had to, well, not agree to, but at least say that I would do, and for someone much more powerful than myself, in regards to bringing you back and getting everything squared away, as it were.
Well, we've all got debts to pay. Come in. And he
Right.
pulls the door open and takes a step back into the room. And yeah, his room is like it's messier than it was before, like when we saw it, right? Like
It's messier than when he was possessed.
yeah, now that he's a person, his like, his boots aren't perfectly aligned at right angles with his desk, and like it looks like a person is like in this room. The axe is sitting across from the bed, leaned up against the wall.
I may have, when trying to find help for you, mentioned your name to try and, motivate assistance. People know who you are around here, it seems.
It's nice to know, even after what happened, people still care about me.
But I had to
wouldn't
go.
fault them otherwise.
I had to go and see my I suppose he'd be my former master now, Alistair, the wizard. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but he expressed a great interest in your weapon.
He glances at it.
Take a look. Nothing serious, I don't think. He didn't say keep it, but he did want to see it, hold it in his hands.
And he shakes his head and he chuckles and he says, wouldn't be the first wizard that just wanted to take a look at Azure Edge.
Fair enough.
I appreciate everything that you've done, Rin, but Big Blue and we've got something we need to attend to.
And she looks like she wants to try and keep talking to him and convince him, but she also can see that he's not going to be convinced. And sort of sighs and leaves a bit of empty space in the air.
Yeah, and when there's that silence, he kind of frowns and he says, "I'm sorry if that makes things hard for you. It's the last thing I want. It's just old debts."
Yes, debts. It just means I'll have to convey my failure. Not a problem. I'll do what I can. I appreciate that you don't want to let it go, and it's very important. I understand.
He nods. He says, you and your friends gave me my life back. Now I have to make something of it. I'd happily give you the axe in exchange, but he and we're bound together. I'm still missing things from up here, and I have to go and see if I can get them back.
Do you think Azure Edge maybe remembers what happened?
We were apart for a time.
The way that he's referring to the axe is already got her going it's sentient or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Feelings.
Well, and based on what you heard before, he's doing this because he has to, and
talking
because
to
the
it.
axe is we have to go back and do the thing, and he's like, I don't want to. And it's like, well, you have to. And so he says, but maybe once that's all done, maybe we'll see each other again.
I certainly hope so. Again, I'm sorry these things have happened to you, but again, what you said, make the best of it now, make the most of it now, and move forward.
I don't think I'm going to get a chance to see her again. Not when she's sober, at least. Do me a favor. Tell Makaria I'm sorry about, almost killing her. Or not finishing the job, whichever.
I will express your apologies either way.
Tell her I feel bad about it. That ought to make her happy.
She does like it when people feel bad. And then I sort of go like, well, I'll leave you to it, and then turn and leave, because I don't think it's worth making any rolls or doing anything.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I'm
as
not
you-
gonna get it out of
As
his
you
hand.
go to turn, right, he says, Rin,
Yes.
everybody's talking about you. You and your friends, you're heroes. Take advantage of it. They forget quick.
Well, I'll do my best to indulge in the high life while I can.
And he nods.
And then she's off, I think.
Okay. All right. So you do that. I think the next thing that happens is one day when you maybe like the next day, it'd be like the next day. Someone arrives at your house, and I'm gonna pop us over to the gameplay screen because I have they arrive in significant like circumstance. There's a bunch of like people with them, like guards and like assistants. This is an important person. Let me find her. I think I should have art for her. At the very least, I can give you a description. Let's see. Yeah, there she is. Oh, she looks so fucking cool. Look at her. Go. There she is.
They're all
Whoa, she looks super cool.
damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
I want to be her when I grow up,
Yes.
except for more evil.
Is that her hair or a helmet?
that's her hair,
think
and then
that's
she's got
her
like a
hair.
braided like thing behind it.
That's hardcore.
So, yes, her name is Anamue Laryl Silverhand. She was born 700 years ago.
Jesus.
Is she a human?
She was once known as the Witch Queen of the North.
Cool.
She was married to Kelvin Aronson, who would later become the
Kelvin
Blackstaff.
Blackstaff, yeah.
Yeah, she has retired from public life, or had for a while, and then there was the whole spell plague, and she like came back, and like she's a big fucking deal. She stepped in to serve as Open Lord of Waterdeep after Dagalt like fucked off, and so yeah, she's still kind of like she's a big deal. She's like one of the like queens of Waterdeep, basically.
She's coming to our house.
Yes, and she comes to your
Wait.
house. Yeah, her and a bunch of
Super
Mess of a
powerful.
manner.
her and a
Super
bunch of
powerful wizard lady. I love super powerful wizard ladies.
Yeah. So when you're arriving, I think it's better if you're like a little drunk, Makaria, for the
Oh,
scene.
I'm so
So
toasted.
you're arriving home late, maybe like late one night, and this is the only
Probably
time that she could
something.
find. And so yeah, she's like surrounded by guards and stuff, and she's standing on the porch, looking at your shitty house when the group of you approach.
Yeah.
I think there is a moment of like, wait, who is this? What? You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah. So you
Is this
approach.
another one of your wizard friends.
And the guards like step up, right? They step up like to be like, hold on, like you can't just walk up to Laryl Silverhand. And she glides down the rickety steps, and they part aside, and she walks forward, and she has these like piercing silver eyes that kind of like glimmer with blue light. And when she speaks, there'd be an effect on her voice, like a kind of magical like resonance,
like
to
an
her
echo.
speech.
Yeah.
I want to be her except evil.
She's a little Galadriel-esque, yeah. So she steps forward, and she says, "You are the residents of this home, I presume?"
Yes, yes, we are.
Plus a ghost. There's a ghost too.
Quite. And she looks at 8. You must be the outsider that Vajra was so interested in.
Yes.
And she looks back at the house, and she says, I would rather not have this conversation on your front steps.
Please, by all means. Rin is in like
You
holy
probably don't
fucking
want to have it.
starstruck mode.
You probably don't want to have it inside either. It's a mess. Although we do have some good chairs. I bought them. The good chairs are mine.
Okay, does somebody like open?
I'm just like mumbling.
Jewel sees like everyone else is kind of being useless and opens the door. She's already inside.
Okay.
Just like,
Yeah, so she glides inside, and her units make a perimeter around the house to protect her privacy. And
so private with her guards.
I
she comes in.
lean over to Rin and very loudly whisper, "Do you think we should offer her some wine?"
Offer whatever it is that you want to offer.
I mean, we don't have guests ever.
I think perhaps we should get to the point of the visit. She's a very busy
Don't
lady.
let her go in the basement.
Oh yeah, Makaria, this would be of interest to you, and I think you would be like, I'm gonna mention it to you because it's a silly thing that your character would know, even if it's like very rare information.
Right.
Laryl was possessed by the Crown of Horns at one point.
I love her.
She did not like it. She's a devoted enemy of your god who temporarily possessed her and used her powers for evil. She's
I'm trying
worn.
to,
She has
I'm, like,
worn.
I'm following behind
She
her.
has
and,
worn
like,
the crown of
trying-
horns on this very head.
I'm trying really hard to like touch her.
I
like,
touched the
just,
head
like-
that touched the crown.
Yeah, okay, because Makaria did like research. She's like, this is her, like, she reads fanfic about Merkel, right? Like, so she knows all this shit. So like, okay, flip it and reverse it. Like, she's not like blasé at all. She's like following as close to this person as she can, and like,
Yeah, let me see if I can give you some more information about Laryl and the. As you can imagine, her wiki page is very long. Let me just Control F horns.
oh my god, cut off a braid.
Yeah, here we go. Under an assumed name, she established herself as a hard-drinking adventurer, coming to lead a band known as the Nine. In 1337, Laryl, along with the Nine, discovered the ancient Netherese artifact known as the Crown of Horns in Ulash. The crown was planted by Aumvor the Undying for her to find because he wanted to use the crown to influence her to marry him. It failed when she donned the headpiece, and the crown's power conflicted with her spellfire and drove her into madness. Yeah. There you go. She was rescued by Kelvin, and then they fell in love. Yeah.
Gross.
Cool. So she's like communed with your awful bullshit deity.
Yeah, so I'm definitely like right up behind her, like.
So she comes in and she sits down on one of the few chairs that you have around one of the ratty tables. And she says, I understand that you are the ones responsible for finding Neverember's missing gold and restoring it to the coffers of the city.
Yes.
It was mostly me.
No.
You want anything? Some wine.
That's
all we have.
I haven't much time. I'm afraid I'm very busy these days.
so why are you here?
I've come to discuss your reward. Let it not be said that the lords of Waterdeep do not appreciate those who serve them.
Ward, all right.
We have discussed it with our scribes and believe that 1/10 of the treasure would be a fair remit to you for your service.
1/10 of 500,000 gold. Yeah, that'd be. I mean,
She's trying to do math on her fingers. She's struggling.
Yes, I believe that would be most fair.
Very good. It would please us to see you reinvest it in the city. And she looks around kind of casually at the place you live.
Are you gonna ask?
Yeah, and she turns, and Makaria, you see in her eyes the flickering of her silver flame, and she of the spell fire, and she kind of gives you a look. She's gonna make an insight check on you because you're being weird. So,
Yes. No, this is great. Please do.
Jesus, she has a lot of
Yeah,
she has a lot of magic items.
Lightning bolts you. She's like,
Wait,
Yeah.
you're serving a Merkel? No reward. You're dead. Just
Wait a minute. Does that mean we get more?
It's fine. She's only challenge rating 17.
Oh, fuck.
She's like 700 years old.
She gets a 25 on her insight check.
Good.
Yeah, so she just turns and looks at you and she says, "Is there something you wish to say?"
I like give you one of these.
No, time's up. Busy.
And she smiles like gently and she says, "There is no need to be shy. I don't bite."
You have time to tell tales of your adventures ever? Times about stuff?
All those stories have long been told.
Yeah, there was one in particular that was wishing for a more personal insight. I don't care about the gold. You can have my part.
She like cocks her head. She's like, curious. What is it that you want to know?
I'm like looking around like, are there guards inside?
Yeah, she's got her like magic Secret Service guys.
I'm all looking at you like, what the fuck are you gonna say here? I don't.
Jewel is so like whatever is about to come out of Makaria's mouth is not a good thing because Makaria is only ever like this about the last time, which was the Black Staff and the Crown of Horns.
That's true.
And I think that like Makaria knows that she'll never get this opportunity ever again. So she's just like, I heard that once upon a time you wore the crown of horns.
There's like a sadness that kind of like passes over her face, and you can all feel it. And she nods. I've heard about you, you know. Vajra mentioned that there was a young undertaker wandering around. That's the thing about faith. Even if we know in our mind the truth of things, our heart can believe otherwise. Yes, I am acquainted with old Lord Skull. Intimately, for a time. I wore the crown of horns for many years. I do not wish to remember those times.
Not even like a little bit?
Nobody wants to talk about your dead god, Makaria.
She smiles and she says, "That's the funny thing about gods, isn't it? Dead, alive. It doesn't quite mean the same thing for them that it does for us. For good or for ill, little gravekeeper, something's still answering your prayers."
And I think that she's honestly just like, she said stuff about the crown of horns to me. Like, this is great. And also I'm still like drunk and confused and I'm just gonna like squeak a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't really have like whatever information gathered from her doesn't really matter other than the fact that Makaria is just fangirling, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get the impression that this conversation for Laryl is a little more like, fucking watching you. Like if you ever get to like level 12 or so, we're gonna have another conversation.
If I manage to get there, then if Makaria manages to live that long, then sure.
Yeah. And she she says like right now, yeah, I think that's the impression. Right now she's like, I could snuff you out if I wanted to with a snap of my fingers. So you're nothing.
I feel like that's why most people like don't kill Makaria on
yeah,
sight.
there's gonna be a weird turn when you get more powerful.
When you're actually strong enough to be a force for evil. Yeah.
I feel like Makaria is gonna have to learn to behave herself before then.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
So she says, well, if that's all. And she stands.
Yes, I think that 10th would be most welcome. I'd like stand up, go to the door, open it, like
The black stuff didn't mention anything about where I came from. Did she? She was looking into it.
She shakes her head. No, I'm sorry, she did not. Extraplanar affairs are really more her matter, and Force Grey. I do know that she's very interested in you, and whatever place you come from. And no, and she like takes a step towards you and like puts her hand on your shoulder, and you feel like a frisson of like magical energy, and she says, and know that no matter where you are from, you are welcome here, a citizen of Waterdeep, who has earned it tenfold.
Like, thank you.
She nods. And so she turns to leave. But before she goes, she turns to Jewel and she says, tell your mother and father I said hello.
Just like melts into the table.
You're like, and Laryl Silverhand leaves. She leaves behind several civil servants who get you to sign a bunch of paperwork, including like setting up a bank account and putting the money, because they're not going to bring you bars of gold, right? They're like, so they work with you.
So confused.
There's a priest of Joaquin, a bunch of city scribes. There's a member of the town guard who like gets you to sign. They like get you to sign a bunch of stuff.
Anyone
and...
sit in the chair that she sat on. I'm just like, no, you can't. This is the closest I've ever been to Merkel. All right.
Yeah, and so
you knew.
And she sets you up, and yeah, and then you now have access to 50,000 gold.
That's 12.5K.
So that's 12,500 gold each. Yep.
I want to buy Azurich. I'll buy it.
No, I understand that you want it, but bringing him back to life was very much the kinder act and the one that will earn you more renown. Whatever, it's my axe.
Or just kill him.
I would just like a little. Are we level 5 now?
No, we'll do. So basically, what I want to do between now and when we start Mad Mage is like you can spend, if you have some stuff you want to buy, we can talk about that or whatever. But there's a few other things.
Okay. I just like, I want a little like snippet because Makaria is getting animate dead at level 5 and we got some some horses in the basement.
So you owe people some money.
True.
So how much of that money do you pay? And you can have this conversation with the group. How much of that money do you pay? You promised so many people so much money.
Promised like 3 people.
We promised like the doppelganger.
It's a lot.
Some money.
Bonnie.
Not that much.
You promised Bonnie some money.
The 2 fellas.
You promised those. The
Embrick
Smiths.
and Avi.
Yeah, Embrick and Avi. You owe them money.
And then the spells. But one of those is not our responsibility.
Yeah, Mayloon's not my fucking business.
You don't have to pay for Mayloon, but yeah, 450 gold needs to go to fixing 8. That is a cost.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So how much?
Who's keeping track of this money?
How much do you?
Ren, you're
pay?
the one with the book.
So if we have 50,000 in total, let's deduct from the total before we split it for these.
I mean, mathematically, the easiest is why don't we take a 5th of that, so we each get 10, and then we split the 10 amongst the other.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, all right. So everybody gets 10,000, and you take that
just start
10,000.
matching
Well,
it,
but
right?
remember,
And then,
10,000 split. Now, do you take that 10 and you give 5 to Embrick and Avi so they get 2,500 apiece, or do you give?
Embrick and Avi can split it amongst themselves. Like they get one amount.
Damn, married people are one person.
Well, I mean,
they get to file taxes together, okay? So
we hired them as a business, not
Water,
as a person.
That's
Water
true.
Navy and taxes.
Okay,
It's
all
fine.
right, okay, that's fine. So you do that, and you pay Bonnie, who will probably use this money to leave Waterdeep forever. I
Yeah.
wonder if there's like a place where doppelgangers can live. Like, is there Doppelganger Island? Like,
No. It's called Skullport.
I
Yeah,
think
right.
we keep the adamantium bar.
Oh, you can keep the adamantine bar, yeah. And if
yeah.
like 8 wants to pay Embrick and Avi to make it into a weapon or something for them, they can.
Adamantine sucks for weapons.
Is it better for
8.
armor?
At some point,
Anything.
you
Yeah.
just find a mace like left in your room. It's just like on the bed. Jewel doesn't even tell you about it. She just like puts it there and then sneaks
Oh.
out.
Yeah, Jewel, did you? I can't remember. Did you take the plate armor when you left, or did you leave it in the?
They left it. There
Okay,
was no way
yeah.
she could drag that.
So it gets reclaimed by the city.
I think she does try and make a case that the ghost gave it to her.
Yeah, they're like, okay, it gets returned to the Church of Syamorph because that's
She's
who it
like, no,
belongs
but
to.
really, the ghost gave it to me. It belongs to my friend now.
But you can keep the he can't. They can't wear it, right? 8.
No, none of us can wear it.
It's not an upgrade either.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Except that it's magic, but yeah.
But you do have the mace now. So
Yeah,
that's-
so you
that's
have
yours.
and you would recognize from all your reading about chivalry, right? Like
The Syamorph.
Syamorph is the if there was a god of like the Holy Grail and like chastity and being an Arthurian knight, Syamorph is that god. And so that's so this is a chivalric mace for smiting undead and what have you.
I'll keep it in case we come across undead.
Yeah.
For sure.
Attached to it is a note that just says, "Don't tell Macaria."
Yeah.
And it's a mace of disruption, right?
It's a mace of disruption, yeah.
I feel like I need to have a conversation with Jewel about what I paid to try and get her free. I want to have that conversation. I think that would
Yeah,
be
Jewel has no idea. She's not gonna know unless you tell her,
Okay.
or
sure.
disappear for a year.
Yeah.
And
I mean that's obviously
that's the
like
thing.
in the same way, and we know this as people like telling this story. It's not about the year, like the year will happen off screen someday at the end. It's more about the fact that now Rin is under the thumb of this dude, right? That anytime he could be like, "Hey, come here, you're done."
Well, it could be like it starts now. You know, like,
exactly.
in the middle of which is why she has to tell people, right? She doesn't want to just disappear.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to once we're done organizing the money,
Yeah.
we can do that. I just want to make sure that we're in the have we finished paying our bills? Are
Yes.
the bills paid?
Now, I think let me do a thing. So, one afternoon, shortly thereafter, you were at home. Makari, I need you for this scene. Anybody else can be home.
Sure.
There's a knock at the door. And Makari, you're like in the main room when this happens.
I'm like worshiping the chair.
Did you move the chair down into your weird basement and you've like put candles around it and like
No, my weird basement has corpses in it.
Yeah, well, so
In a
I
row.
assume that the basement is your weird shrine to Merkel is all.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's also where I do my corpse
Yeah,
investigating.
both. It's so that's why I said a shrine to Merkel.
Okay. So yeah, I would like hear it. No one answers. Someone knocks again. I like poke my head up the trap door and I like look around. Are you going to get that? I say to the ghost.
Mm-hmm. Tunk, tunk, tunk. There's another knock on the door.
Ugh. Go to the door. Yes, what?
Do you open it or you just shout to the
I
side?
just yell.
Okay. You hear a voice from the other side, a familiar voice, say, "Makaria, is that you?"
Yeah, and I open it.
Hello, Makaria. You see
Hello.
before you Davil Starsong.
Hello, devil.
Lurking in the street are some goons.
Of course.
And he says, "May I come in?"
Sure.
Okay.
Did you bring any wine with you?
And he says, "Matter of fact, I did." And he like shows, like, he's got this like wine bottle of like fancy wine.
Oh, a housewarming gift. How lovely. Come on in. I'm so much happier now.
Yeah. So he comes in and he looks around and he sits down.
It's
and-
probably like a tiny bit more fixed than last.
Yeah, well, we haven't really talked about the money you're going to sink into it, but so you sit him down, and the reason I wanted to hold off on that is because there is like a supplement for that I want to take a look at in case it's something you want to do.
Yeah.
So he sits down and he says, "Word travels fast about your good luck. Nicely
What's the
done."
luck?
And he grins. "Of course, your skill. That gold had been missing a long time. It's good to see it back in the right hands." I never liked that never ember.
Oh. You know, people might think that you being, you know, allied how you are, you wouldn't have wanted the gold to end up back with the city.
I'm a citizen of Waterdeep like anyone else.
And so,
And he shrugs and he says, he says, well, you know, we could have found a use for it. That's a lot of gold. But to be perfectly honest, most of it, I think, would have ended up going east. There are things going on at headquarters that need attention. That's actually what I came to talk to you about.
headquarters.
Zentil Keep, Flan, Moonsea, and it doesn't matter. It's the operation here I'm concerned about. There was something of a, well, you saw it, a rounding up of your brothers and sisters in the Zentarum. Many of us spent time in jail. Many are still there for crimes they didn't commit. I myself suffered at the hands of the city guard.
Yes, I remember. So,
Our coffers have become somewhat drained. I'm being pushed out by someone much worse. Someone I promise will not be a good friend to you. I came to ask you for a favor on behalf of all your brothers and sisters clad in black.
because you've been such a good friend.
Consider it an opportunity to prove your dedication to the organization. And besides, if you can help me, I'll be in a much better position to help you. I need my men out of jail. I need to buy weapons. I need to prepare.
Yes, well.
I need gold, Macaria. And you
And I
have it.
happen to have quite a sum of it just at this moment.
He nods.
But you knew that.
I did.
Well, you brought me a nice wine, so I'll hear you out. What is it?
I need 5,000 gold. For all that I
And-
said. Otherwise, he scowls. Otherwise, my friends and I are going to have to leave the city. And someone new is going to take over. Someone much worse.
Well, you see, I don't know this someone else, Davil. Maybe they could make use of the money, and maybe they'd, I don't know, see me when I ask to see them and not make me wait. And
Macaria, I have done my best with what I have. I came to you because I think you can help. If you're unwilling, I'll leave you to your new master, but they won't be as kind as I was. Things will change in Waterdeep if we lose this fight.
is this a loan or a gift?
He smiles. Consider it an investment.
I think about it.
Do not think over long. This is a pressing matter.
So, out of character.
Yeah.
This is just like me.
I answer anybody. You could get money from your friends, but basically Davil is saying like, listen, I'm a big deal in the Zentarum, but things are all fucked up now because of this like purge back from chapter 2, and a new power. Someone from the Moonsea has shown up and is like trying to seize control of the Zentarum. Basically, there's like a Zentarum power struggle, and he needs money to win.
Okay, here's the question.
Yeah.
Is the new NPC cuter than Davil?
I doubt it. Davil's kind of like
He's very attractive.
I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and don't spoil it, Chad, but like, yes,
Really?
like maybe like I wish I could just show this to everybody who isn't Blue Jay, so we could all weigh in on. I bet I can. Here, let me. All right, Blue Jay, you can't see this.
Close your eyes. Close
No,
your
no,
eyes.
I'm just gonna put it in the. I'm gonna put it in the journal of everyone else. Okay, everybody, look in your journal. You have a new handout in your journal. What do you think?
Is he cuter than Davil?
Is he cuter than Davil?
Where is it? Which part?
For Macaria. It's somewhere in your I added it to your journals. So it should show up if you like minimize everything.
I found it.
Yeah, you found it. Okay. If I click show players, it shows everybody. What do you think?
It's hard. It's a hard fit. They
Right?
are both, like very pretty.
I'm not 100% sure which one was added, but I think I'm looking at the right one. Is this the one beginning with M?
Yeah, there's like scrolls in the
Okay,
picture.
yeah.
Oh.
It's more
Wait.
Macaria's type than Davil.
That's
It
what
is-
I thought.
It is more Macaria's type.
Yeah, can you put Davil back up? A close Davil.
Sure. There's Davil. If you want to hold them side by side.
Yeah,
no, it's
100%.
Macaria's.
Oh yeah, so we should go with new guy.
I mean, I know this is actually really, really bad.
I know this is terrible. Yeah, like on a player level, but
I have no idea, so
on
I'm
the
going
cute,
to tell
on
you
the
to get us
on
in
the
more trouble.
on the
I will
attractive-
say this. It's not Fazul, so by definition, it's not the most attractive of all of the members of the Zentarum, because Fazul Chembrel has the greatest mustache in the history of the Forgotten Realms,
I don't believe you.
and would be it's true.
Why don't you get Davil to roll like a persuasion of some kind?
Yeah, that'd be cool too. But like,
Okay.
so is there any like Zentarum renown that's coming? Like, because he's literally saying just give away 5,000 gold and you'll get nothing.
Oh,
It'll
I mean, he'll
stand
remember for sure.
It'll give you standing with Davil for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Okay.
And I think it would be an opportunity for you to buy into the Zentarum in a way that would like
right.
it would
Give
move
you
you up the
prestige.
ladder, right? He would be like, I'm
So
in charge.
so-
These are my
so
friends, and this is my friend Macaria.
Mechanically, though, does it give me anything?
Yeah, I think you would like it
Like
would
a
buy you. It
renown?
would buy you a rank of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, and he'd owe
And if
you a
I
favor,
don't
yeah.
give him the money, the new guy has no reason to.
No.
Yeah, you would
new guy-
you'd retain it, but what would happen? This is the part of the game that's Blades in the Dark. What would happen is you would basically drop to like tier 0 again, but
Right.
you'd still be in the Zentarum, right? So he would probably show up and be like, "Hi, I hear you're a Zentarum. So I'm cleaning house. How do you feel about Davil Starsong?" And if you're like, "Oh, he's a friend of mine," he'd be like, "It hurts me to hear that," and he'd have you stabbed.
Okay, so
Right.
yeah, then it makes more sense for me to have Davil owing me than it does for
Oh,
me to
totally.
have a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
guy who doesn't owe me anything.
Now the fight will still happen. So if Davil and I'll tell you this, Davil's friends are called the Doom Raiders.
Yes.
If Davil and the Doom Raiders, if they
Davil in the Doom.
if Davil and the Doom Raiders fail in their battle against New Guy, you will be seen as like one of Davil's right-hand nerds. So
Right.
you'll essentially become an honorary Doom Raider.
I mean, Doom Raider, Doom Bringer. It's close. I think that
What's the name
Macaria,
of-
like she might be
You know
like
who you know who else was a Doom Raider?
who?
Schemo Weird Bottle.
Great. I feel like Macaria might be like a little bit of a like I don't know if the word is tease, but she might make him wait, but she'll probably just be like, I don't know what to do with 10,000 gold. Like, sure, like I don't like you owing me like is also good.
Yeah, so you agree?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. He tells you like I'll have a scribe put the paperwork together. You have no idea how helpful this is going to be. And he stands and you can see him now. He's just like, yeah, I gotta go get some shit done. I gotta go bust my buddies out of jail. We gotta prepare because there's a storm a coming. And yeah, so make a note somewhere that like Davil Starsong and the Doom Raiders owe you a boon. You're an honorary Doom Raider. The other thing about the Doom Raiders, then this will become important later. The Doom Raiders' whole jam is finding the layers of liches and raiding them. The name of a lich's lair is a doom, and they raid dooms. So they go after like liches and they
So
rob
they are
them.
literally the
Yes,
Doom Raiders.
Doom Raiders.
Okay.
So they are experts in matters undead and ancient artifacts and
Okay, well that could be good for
this
me.
definitely
Yes.
sounds good for Makaria.
yeah. So later when you are like, I'm gonna go down into Undermountain, they'll be like, yes, we can help you. We've got advice and yeah, they're phylactery thieves. Yeah.
Okay, as long as they don't steal mine when I make them.
Yeah. So they're good friends
No.
for you to have.
Okay.
You can't be a lich.
I know I can't like technically be a lich, but Makaria doesn't.
There's a cleric equivalent. I can't remember what it's called, but like there's an undying cleric like
A lick.
thing. Okay, all right. So there you go. So they you have secured your allegiance not only of Davil Starsong, but of the Doom Raiders, and you can
Cool.
you can
Cool,
call
cool.
upon them
Cool.
later.
Cool.
Great. Okay.
Devil's very handsome, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to angle in on like dating him, this would probably be a good way to do it too.
I mean, Makaria thinks that if she touches anyone, they'll die.
Yeah, true.
So
Okay, all right. So
it's a cleric of Merkel.
the next time that all four of you are at the Yawning Portal, enjoying a beverage or a meal together, your table is approached by an old friend. He comes to the table somewhat sheepishly, hat in hand, and he approaches and he comes with like, again, he's got wine, and he comes up to the table and Volothamp says, "Well, all's well that ends well." And he puts
I
the wine
suppose
down on the
so.
table. "Do you mind if I join you for a drink?"
By all means.
And he sits down and he says, "So you've had quite of an adventure. Good thing you ran into me that day in the town, just over there. If I hadn't told you about my problems, you would not have come into all of this money and fame, which is, of course, the most important bit."
Why do you need money?
You're very perceptive, my friend.
Right to the chase.
Well, this is how it goes. I am an explorer. I cannot stay in one place for too long. I feel the call of the world. I hear the whisper on the wind saying to me, "Follow, you must go." And I am hearing it again. Now, sales of my book about Chult, they have been good. But people, they don't read like they used to. And I think it is time to go on another expedition. I have heard some very interesting things about a continent to the west across the sea. Maybe you would be interesting to helping me fund this expedition. I would be happy to put your names in the book and to speak well of you to everybody that I meet. And if you ever find your way in a boat to a Mazdaca, well, I would have been.
Jill just looks at him when she says that. She's like, "There's nothing interesting there."
Yeah.
That's where she's from.
And he says, I would be happy to give you any expertise that I have. They say there
I'm
is
from
gold in
there.
the jungles.
That's where I was born.
He nods and he says, "Well, then all of the more reason to give people a fair view of the place of your birth."
Written by you,
Well, not yet, but
rather than someone from there.
there will be.
That seems problematic.
And he shrugs and he says, I don't think anybody has written anything about it yet."
Yeah.
Well, maybe we
I'm
don't
just
want
gonna-
anything written
I'm gonna
about
make
it.
a film out of it. It's gonna be
Maybe
called The
some people like
Green Book.
privacy.
Yeah. He hasn't chosen the color for this book yet. And he says, "Besides, I understand that I am not the only one interested in it. I have seen that there are ships getting ready and and now that a shelter doesn't belong to them anymore, they're looking for somewhere else to visit.
Colonize.
He nods. He says, well, don't you think that it would be good to have someone there thinking about these things, sending back missives to Waterdeep, helping tell the story of these people? But I hear, and like he gets deadpanned by Julian's like, but I haven't decided. There are plenty of places to explore. I hear a salt marsh is very interesting in the spring. So what do you say? I only need about 5,000 gold. It should be enough to get me there and get me started.
I get up and go to the bar.
Unfortunately, my money is tied up in other endeavors, and I'm hoping I might be able to pay off a debt that I have with it, so it's spoken for.
Jewel like looks at Rin when she says that.
I'll tell you about that in a second.
And he just like he sees his like business plan slipping through his fingers, and he says, "Oh, well."
Send Vola to Barovia.
Yeah, he gets angry. He gets really angry about it, and he murders someone. Yeah. So he says he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, it's fine. I will continue to ask around, but I mean, if it weren't for me, don't worry about it. Maybe Ishi will give me some money." Have a good evening, everybody. And he gets up and he kind of like,
hey, Molo, you looking for money for people?
And so he disappears into the crowd to go and find a kobold who will give him some money.
Ishi has more money than sense. It's fine. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So you've rebuked Volothamp. So what do you? Let's see if you have a scene that you want to do. Let's do that. If anybody has something that they want to do, and then I have one last one before we come to an end.
Jewel just turns and looks at Rin like, talk.
We thought you were trapped.
Mm-hmm.
The door closed to the vault. Mm-hmm. The only thing that we could do to get the Castellanters to give you back to us would be to get the money to the Castellanters. And, I mean, you found your own way out, but we didn't know that was going to happen. So.
Understandable.
We didn't have a shapeshifter, and Bonnie wouldn't come with us.
No, you didn't.
I did. Went back to Alistair and...
But you left there.
Yes.
I punched him in his face.
He did actually do that. It's very surprising that he's not in pieces, or they're not in pieces right now. But regardless, I had him cast a spell upon me. And so I was a shapeshifter and could open the door.
What did you have to pay?
Actually, this is relevant to everyone who might not already know this. I say, looking around the table, a year. When he wants a year, I have to give him a year. Makari already knows this, so it's her at the bar. It's fine. But both of you, I don't know when he'll call it in, but it's a year of service.
Well, if he wants more money, you can have any of mine.
What I was thinking is I may be able to buy my way out of it, but he's not really one to change his mind on these things. We'll give it a try, though.
He seemed to have enough expensive objects in his home already.
Probably.
If there's one thing I've learned about Alistair, it's that he never has enough. There's always more to have. Including people.
Don't do that again. He can have me for 6 months if he wants.
Certainly try and avoid it. But we'll see. Money might solve the problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I would have made the same deal for anyone in the group. We've been working together too long.
Except
looks over at the bar and then looks back at Rin.
Yeah, there's a little like, yeah, okay, she maybe not her.
I would do the same thing. Also, I need to figure out what's going to happen to, where I'm from, because I feel like that sounds bad. Whatever Volo just said. Maybe I should go with him. Oh no.
Don't
That would be worse than the time I was stuck in a tunnel with Floon. I was stuck in a tunnel with Floon.
I come back to that.
And it's like it appears you have had a worse time than I. Like,
Maybe we could trade Floon for your year of service, just the rest of Floon's life, so we never have to see him again.
I think the issue with trading anything to Alistair is that he seems to be fixated on me personally, which
Besides, having to put up with
strange and
Floon is a
creepy.
punishment, not a gift.
I don't know. Maybe he's into that sort of thing.
I like picture it for a second. I'm like,
well, that's the important information passed off anyway. I have to talk to him about not getting a 0 edge, which he'll be upset about, as well as
am I.
I got you a mace. I had to promise a ghost.
got you a mace.
what mace? I can use maces.
You have one. She points to the mace. I have
Mm,
Yes.
never seen you use it.
Well, that's because can and should are two different things.
It's a decorative mace.
It looks nice. It looks
Is it?
not nice.
Jewel 100% deflects the conversation to just talk about Macaria.
I think I may actually take this particular evening and decide to drink. Like,
You know what? Finally, after all this, let's get you.
I can help you with that.
go to the bar, get myself a beverage.
Fly like a bird, drink like a fish.
Yeah. I've been all over the place.
Excellent. Cool. All right. So does anybody else have a like a scene that they want to do as a sort of conclusion of this part of the adventure for the characters? 'Cause obviously these characters will continue on.
You said that there was one other one.
There's one last thing. Yeah.
And I'm happy to try and bribe my way out of my debt.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know better.
But I know that's not gonna
Yeah,
work.
he doesn't want money. Like, you could be like, I'll give you 1,000,000 gold, and you'd be like, I don't care. I just want to see you suffer. Like, it's the people, right? Because he could have anybody he wants, but the fact that you had to come back, he's just like, yeah.
That's what I figured.
We can visit him. We can visit him again for sure. Yeah.
I mean, if we're not level 5 yet, then I can't do my thing.
No,
but-
no. You'll get level 5 at the end of the adventure.
So we'll do that. We'll do that in the start of Mad Mage, I guess.
Yeah,
So-
buy magic items. Come on.
So the sort of the last thing that we'll do one night you were at your home and there's a knock at the door, a rather panicked knock, and this is like middle of the night.
What? Like lean out the window and like look down at where the door is. You're like,
There's a cloaked figure like knocking at your door,
yes, hello.
and there's like the person down there like stops and looks up, and they're like, Red, it's me, Floon. I have to speak with you.
Yes.
No one's home.
Yes, Floon, very well. And you get the usual shot of Rin when she hasn't had time to like prepare anything. She just looks bedraggled. Like opening the door to her room, going downstairs and coming around the outside. I don't know if anybody else is getting up, but
Yeah, you see this
downstairs.
whole shot as you like pan out. There's by my window, which I've smashed out, there are like 3 heavy crossbows like lined up under it, and I've just been like holding them, looking out the window to decide whether or not I just and I just put it down and I start coming downstairs as well.
yeah. Me and Rin in her pajamas going around the outside to like unlock the door and let Floon in and go in.
Okay.
So we got that like stare at the
Yeah,
back.
so you come around and you see Floon, and in the moonlight you can see that he has like blood on his face, and he has like a black eye, and he's like holding one of his arms. He looks like he's in pain.
Are you all right?
And he's like looks around. He's like, they might have followed me. Please, like,
I unlock the door and like open it and lead him inside. Close it.
okay, all right. You come inside, and he sits down.
Do you want a drink?
And he shakes his head, and he says, "No, my head is foggy enough as it is. I need your help. You were the only ones I could think to come to.
Well, who calm down from the start? What happened?
I was on my way back to the yachting portal after a very successful date, I might add, and I was jumped by some monsters.
Monsters?
He nods. I didn't get a good look at them, but they were strange creatures. I think one of them might have been a dark elf. They beat me up. They kept asking questions about Never Ember's gold. They took everything I had, and he like holds his hands up. He's like he doesn't have any money, and he says, they said they'd be back.
So
You need to just leave Waterdeep.
after you again. I think you need to find somewhere to hole up.
And he shakes his head. He says, but it's not just me. They do you as well. They said that I was supposed to deliver a message, that you were going to pay for what you did.
For what we did.
And he
For
nods.
Giving back the gold?
And he nods. And he says, they said that gold belongs to the Xanathar's guild. And that if you wanted, you could come down to Skullport and beg Xanathar for mercy. Otherwise, they were going to kill me.
Oh, well, that's too bad for you now, isn't it, Floon?
And he nods like, yes, it is.
That'd be very unfortunate for someone.
I look
So-
over at the others like maybe we should figure out
Kill
some way.
The Xanathar, yes.
What?
Simple. We killed a Xanathar.
Well, that's a little overreaching, I think, but
Why?
negotiations never out of the picture.
You know, I like Eight's idea.
This is why being famous is the worst. I'm just gonna leave.
Can I
like-
have your things?
Like looking at Jewel, I'm like, honestly, I could do without the fame as well, though it is nice to be recognized.
No, this is what happens when you're famous.
And he
Yes, I get free drinks every night, as much as I like. It's wonderful.
And he Floon nods and he says, I was hoping you could hide me here, that I would be safe. There's nowhere else in the whole city that I feel safe anymore.
If they already know that they're going to
But
come
you
and
can protect me.
I saved your life once. I am not your life-saving servant.
Floon, you could
should
stay with
come.
me.
And he looks at you like, okay, yeah, that's what I said. I want to stay here. I want to stay here with you.
You should come with us to this Skullport place.
But
We will fix things.
and he shakes his head. He says, "You're not from here, so you wouldn't understand. Skullport's no place for somebody like me. And besides, to get there, you have to go through Under Mountain." And he like looks all like terrified.
I am still not understanding the problem with this course of action.
And Floon nods, and he's like, "That's right. You're the bravest people I know. So just go and tell him that he can't push us around, him or his guild."
Yes.
You're like, "I'm going right now." Get your
I'm
sword."
like, are you sure? I'm sure we could find a place to hide Floon for a little while we get prepared, at least.
No, I'll take care of him. It will be fine.
I need to test my new upgrades. Like, that's probably like a picture up in my room of like the blueprints for the level 5 like increase in my armor.
Nice.
I think Jules like already starting to pack stuff up, like mumbling to herself about the perils of fame.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and I think like rather than it ending on a like we have to go do a thing, it's like, yeah, like what's gonna happen, and like Floon is being threatened by these goons from Under Mountain, and everybody is kind of like having their own preparations, and Makari is looking at him like, "I'm gonna tear your flesh off your bones and eat you." And I think that's probably where we fade out. And Floon lives with you now, so that's cool.
No. We will not let that happen.
You can
Yeah.
be my
I'm
He definitely
you will
thinks that he
murder him,
does.
basement.
He definitely thinks that he does. Cool. Yeah. So what we'll do between times, if there's things that you want to do, like buy magic items or whatever, make sure you level yourself up, and we will continue with Dungeon of the Mad Mage next time.
I need to figure out if there's a better armor that I could actually wear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that strategizing is
Because
a
I'm
part.
weak.
Yeah. So take a look, figure out what you want to buy with all your money, and
I leveled up.
and let me
Fighters
know.
is easy.
Yeah, fighters is easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let
can.
me know.
I'll probably buy some studded leather because that is slightly better. Either way, I need to replace my armor because it was destroyed to the point of being useless.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, chat. Level 3 spells, level 3 bard spells.
Okay. Well, we don't need to decide all this stuff
this
now.
can all be like
I
follow
know,
us
I'm
all on
just-
our
I'm
Twitter
letting them-
and give us
Yeah,
suggestions.
exactly. If you have thoughts about helping our
So,
characters,
one of the
We
things
level
I
have
up,
know
a week.
is
Yeah.
not all like magic items are probably not a thing we can buy, right?
there's rules for
Yes.
it in Xanathar.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And it's like
'Cause
it's
I
a
know that-
downtime activity.
Costs of things are not always a stuff, but
So,
like a better
You
sword
live
is
in
probably
if you can't get it here, chances are you can't get it.
And Waterdeep is like
So rules are for magic items. Magic item price. Yeah, you have to roll for the price, and then there are potentially there's like complicated stuff. I'll read the rules for buying magic items, and we'll talk about it. You make a persuasion check, basically.
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, yeah, I think the main thing Jewel would want
Yeah.
would just to start with would be a better sword.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
of
totally.
resistance
On a
and stuff like
sunblade.
that.
On the sunblade. It's sweet as hell. It's a lightsaber.
Yeah,
So start-
lightsaber sword.
I
Yeah.
won't build it. I'm like,
Okay, but what
I'll
kind
be
of
like,
what's the
"One
rarity?
times."
What's the rarity of a sunblade?
Rare. 2d10 times
Times
1,000 gold.
1,000. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Holy
if I roll
fuck.
badly, then maybe I'll buy it. I'll just use my whole thing. I'll just be like, yep.
2d10 could be.
So let
a
me know
lot
what
more-
you want to buy, and then I'll let you know if it's
Yeah.
available, and we'll do all that stuff together. Also like the house, those kinds of thing. Like if you want to
Yeah,
upgrade
I
that.
feel like I'm gonna put a fair amount of money into the tavern.
Yeah. We can get it
'cause
going
I
as a
feel like
business.
that is a Rin investment, certainly.
Totally. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, we don't have to wait too long before we start Mad Mage because I've got the overlays and everything ready, so I'll get that all set up and we'll jump right into it. I
How can-
think because I'm pretty rusty on it, I haven't read it in a while, but I think what I'll do probably is on the Roll20 Twitch channel at some point, maybe on the weekend, I'll grab a couple of hours and we'll do a little sit down and I'll walk through it. If people, not you four, stay the fuck away from me, but if the audience would like to join me, I'll tweet about that and I'll let you, well, because all secret stuff. So we'll take a look at level 1 and I'll look at kind of some stuff that I need to do to prepare for that. So I'll get the account ready. And so if anybody is getting set up for Mad Mage, you can come and check that out. But in the meantime, let's do our last Dragon Heist shout outs. Let's start with Rin Stillwater, Distracted Elf. Where can people find you on the internet?
Well, if you want to find me on the internet, you can find me at Distracted Elf or I said on Twitter at Distracted Elf or on twitch.tv/Distracted Elf. Those are the places that I hang out and talk about my feathery bard.
Excellent. Lauren, why don't you go next?
I'm sorry, I was giving myself hit points. My name is Random Tuesday. You can find me at Random Tuesday pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Twitter are the main places. Or you can find me in my other RPG homes where I run a couple of campaigns, one on Roll For It and one on Geek Space TV.
Excellent. Dave, how about you?
Yeah. Hi everyone. Thanks for coming on this Dragon Heist journey with us. Happy to see the next one. We got it done just in time for them to announce the one after
The one after
we're
it,
about.
yeah.
If you'd like to follow me on my stuff, I am at Dave_the_human on Twitter and on Twitch. Streaming. Oh my god, I've done it for a
You
couple of
did
times. Dave_human. So please come check those out as well.
Cool. Last but not least, Macaria is Blue Jay.
Yeah. I'm so excited for Macaria to be level 5. I literally built this character for using the animated dead spell. That's all I wanted to do since day 1, level 1. And next time, But before I get my zombie cohorts, you can find me at twitch.tv/bluejay or on Twitter at bluejay_712, where all my other links to everything are. And yeah, that's me.
Excellent. Cool. Well, if you missed any of the show, it's done now. I think this was episode 20. I think it took us 20 episodes to get through it.
A cool 20 episodes.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways that you can play Waterdeep Dragon Heist. This was the summer season. There are obviously 3 other seasons, each with their own villains and their own ongoing story, some of which you got little bits and pieces of. We saw some of the characters that thread through those. So if you're playing it at home, you could pick a different version of this adventure and get a completely different experience. Or if you're like really ambitious, I've been thinking about this, you could totally do all 4 at once. You could have all of the bad guys happening at the same time, competing for the heist. So this has been our presentation of Dragon Heist. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will either play or run in it yourself. But if you want to watch us from the beginning, go to our YouTube channel. And you can watch it from there. This will be the same time, the same cast, slightly different look, same characters for Mad Mage next week. And in the interim, I'll figure out when I want to do that little walkthrough, and I'll be tweeting about that. So you can find my tweets at Skinny Ghost on Twitter, or you can find me at twitch.tv/Adam Koble. I do a bunch of other role-playing game stuff, but follow me on Twitter, and that's where you can find it. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for our first step into Under Mountain in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you later. Bye. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net.